Hello, my little fantasy nerds, and please join us for another episode of Dungeon Crawlers, where I once again try to slaughter my entire group.
We love to be slaughtered.
Slaughter.
It's our favorite pastime.
Like piggies, little piggies.
eh.
So, the group, having learned of the possession of Freya, have taken it upon themselves with some radiant / holy guidance to seek information in chasing this so-called demon, Zach, to the depths of hell. Upon finding a entrance of some sorts, after nearly drowning in a lake due to the largest member of the group having a little bit of I think it's called hydrophobia, or something of that sorts. You're challenged by two omnipresent angels who turned out to be the word I'm looking for, a little more of the mortal realm than you anticipated. After a very high stakes gambling game, which Kaz came away the victor, and some very nifty little items that you gained, the group made their way to the basically, Kaylin, you're gonna have to help me here because I'm brain farting once again. The between heaven and hell.
Purgatory?
Thank you. Purgatory. They found the second door or level of hell where they exited upon being greeted by a vast and open, sandy, sun blazing environment. The door disappearing behind them. They were greeted by a large, actually incredibly large, city of iron heat, with one large, expansive tower in the center of it, that just seemed to always be growing taller and not smaller. The groups made their way to the front of the entrance where they noticed people exiting and entering the village, or not village, the city, where two members of the group, Henri and Arcadia, snuck their way into the city. As they are now making their way through the city, the rest of the group rests on the outside. I believe where we left off, Arcadia, you had kind of stealthed into the shadows and were kind of hanging back, whereas Henri, you had disguised yourself, I believe, as a tiefling.
Yeah.
Yep, and you guys
I'm still kind of trying to stay out of sight as much as possible.
Yep, you guys are in the alleyway right now, and you guys had noticed these floating eyes.
Oh yes, I remember that now.
Yep. But at the very end of the last session, we went back to
the other group.
Back to
the other group because the group outside.
Kaz, Kaylin, and Morn.
You had
outside.
not made your way back towards the other
No,
group.
you.
You said that.
You were gonna stop, checking into what we were doing and move back to the other group.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. So, back to the other group then. You guys are laying low in the sand. Morn, Kaylin, and Kaz. The heat is...
Oh my god, are you reading the stream?
No.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, 30 hit me hard, man. I used to have hair. So, you lay in the sand as you watch your two friends enter into the city. As they enter into the city, you watch them leave, and it's been about 20 or 30 minutes at this point. You haven't heard word. You don't know what happened. There is no commotion. They seem to have entered without any kind of issue.
Is that Rogue? I have a feeling that's Rogue.
Probably.
Yeah, let me start the music.
So, what are you guys doing?
I have no idea what I should be doing.
Welcome to the party.
So I normally have several ideas, and I have to go, that's stupid, that's stupid, that's the least stupid one. I'll say that out loud. But I have no, I guess, I mean, I feel like I just wait until we hear back from the two that went in and see what they tell us. I don't know what I would be doing.
Caw,
In the
caw, you
meantime-
guys were supposed to be scouting too. Caw, caw, caw. There's a crazy, like, raven creature telling you guys something. I don't know what's going on.
Were we? I thought we were just waiting underneath a dune for you guys to come back out and.
You're waiting on
Well,
the side of a dune. There's
Yeah,
nothing
that's
really
mental.
Last
high.
session, UCAS had suggested maybe circling around the city while they were doing that, but we didn't come to a consensus on whether we wanted to do that or not.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're trying to find a body of water, so
Or what we think is water.
that's not the worst. Yeah, I mean, we're assuming is water. That's not the worst idea, I guess.
It's up to you. You suggested it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds smart to me now that you're repeating it to me.
Leave it to Kaylin. Come up with all the good ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be my vote. We should circumvent. Is that the word I'm looking for? The city walls. Circumnavigate. Thank you. The city walls and see if we can, just in the distance, see any bodies of water or liquid, something that would appear to be a lake or a river.
I'm in favor.
So you guys are going to begin to make your way around the city.
I think so.
Okay. So you three.
I can't with Insomniacs. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Is Morn tagging along, or is he just going to stay behind the dune?
no, he's gonna tag along with you guys.
Okay.
Yep. So he stands up and begins to walk with you, kind of nonchalantly. Kind of makes the noise of like, you know, we should wait here, but I'll follow. And like kind of tags along behind you guys. As you guys do take off and begin to head around, are you guys going to go to the right of the city or to the left of the city? And as far as you guys can see just by looking, actually make a perception check, both of you. Okay. Kaz coming in hot with those perception rolls. Like pers normal.
That's
So,
a nat 6.
yeah, baby. And even with the +2, I'll never understand that.
I know.
Kaz, as far as you can tell, there is no end in sight to any of these walls. Kaylin, you look up as well, and as far as you can tell, to the left and to the right, the city just continues on, as far as you can see, wall-wise. It looks pretty vast, like you could walk for some time before you maybe see a side. So, are you going to the left or to the right?
Kaylin, do you have a preference?
Not in particular. Being that the city does encompass probably 90% of the realm, Not much of the outside has been recorded in the history books, so whichever way we choose is what we choose.
Let's go right. But is there like a sun or something in the sky?
Something that resembles the sun beating down directly on you.
I just want to get a sense for like what time of day it is, and I just want to keep track of how long we're walking.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like if I want to, you're not getting an exact time, but I want to know, hey, it's been 6 hours or something. We
Yep.
need to turn 6 hours and nothing happens. We need to turn around, right?
You hope that it functions the same as the mortal day does, and the sun actually sets and stuff. What if it stays peaked all day? Unfortunately, that's not something you'd find out until you witnessed it.
You have kind of an internal clock, but I'm just trying to use the two to see, like, does the sun move at all? Does it seem like it's the same, just so we don't end up walking for days without anything happening.
Okay, so you guys begin to walk as you kind of like you note where the sun is or whatever this is in the sky, and you begin to walk. Okay. So, first things first. All three of you guys. So I'll roll for Morn, Kaylin, and Kaz. Roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
Ba-boom!
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, okay.
So, Kaylin, you're the first to feel this. And obviously, because of all the armor, but you just feel like you are beginning to cook alive. Like you are just like sweating, and you can just feel the perspiration all around your armor and like in between all the gaps in the armor and your clothes, and you kind of get that as you walk. You can almost feel like the drip drop in between your balls, like falling down your legs.
To the window, to the wall.
Yeah, like that hot. And you can feel.
Balls.
You can feel.
Oh my
you
God.
can feel. Well, I'm just saying, like you can feel like the sweat like dropping off of your shoulders, like down your back, and it's just that hot. Kaz, you manage. It's hot, but you just kind of manage to, with what you're wearing, it's light enough that you're able to like just fan yourself just ever so slightly, and Morn has no issues. As you guys just walk.
Kaylin's in heavy armor, walking through the desert.
Yeah.
Got some swamp ass.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. So, while they're walking, let's go back to you two. Arcadia and Andre, what are you guys up to?
So, we have an issue. Being that neither of us can speak the native languages. That being said, it appears there is a lot of humans walking around here. Maybe more creatures speak common that we know. But that might not be something that we can risk, so the idea of asking if anybody knows where a lake of fire is, or a lake of bodies, or whatever it is, might not be possible. So I say we probably try and sneak around as best we can, see if we can overhear anyone speaking in common or any language maybe you understand, and see if we can find something out.
That would be best. Don't want to expose myself before I need to. So.
Yeah, so I think we're going to try and... Right now we're in an alley, and you said the floating eyes are like a little ways above us, kind of scouting around.
One of them passed over top of us, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it didn't seem
So-
to see us.
Not that you're aware of. No.
Should we try and move towards the center, or should we try and find an inn that maybe you can walk inside and see?
Sounds like a good idea.
And you did, when you guys were first coming in, remember when you had peeked out of the cart, you did notice what resembled an inn. And it's actually not very far from you, because you guys hadn't gone very far. You guys are basically probably a block up from it, and around the corner.
We want to go back and check that inn that, or well, what looked like an inn that we passed by.
Also, are you guys just standing in the alley, or are you guys up against the wall, or what are you doing?
I think we stealthed into it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
we're
know, but like,
stealthing.
so are you just like in the middle of the alley, or are you like up against the wall, or?
Or I think I remember
Up
I
against the
was
wall behind something.
trying to, like, if there were things in the alley, trying to, like, I'm blend in with them and kind of hide and not just like stand there. So if there's whatever the hell is in the alleyways, I don't know what the alleyways of hell hold, but you know, trash or whatever the hell it is, just kind of like.
There's like some trash bags and some barrels and whatnot, and then there's, you up against the wall. I just am kind of asking what you guys are doing.
Yeah, it probably would be like hunkering next to like a barrel up against the wall or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You too? So both you guys take 2 points of damage.
What the?
As you guys lean, as you guys hunker into the alley and you kind of lean up against the wall and against some of the other objects to like get your bearings, but as you kind of brush up against the wall, all of a sudden where you guys put your hand and your pieces of armor, the cloth actually instantly catches on fire, and your hands almost instantly blister.
Well, okay, that changes shit a lot.
Looks like you didn't remember what I told you about Dis.
Yeah, I guess not.
Walls are red hot to the touch.
Ooh, ouches. I guess we should probably not touch anything.
Hey, I don't really fancy you getting burned.
Those aren't Bible rumors, baby. Those are facts.
Kalen's on the outside of the wall, just like sneezing every time. He's like, somebody's talking about me.
Someone didn't follow my advice.
Oh man. Well, I don't think I can go with you because I don't have a way to make myself not look like a human. And I think if you acted like I was your prisoner, I think you'd probably be questioned. And then the issue is you can't probably speak anything that might come at you. So you might have to. I can stay here if you want to try and sneak just a quick peek and see if anybody's talking about anything, and come in and maybe see if you can ask a question or something.
Right. What if something goes wrong?
If something goes wrong, how about we decide on a amount of time for you to be away?
Okay.
Maybe 10. Let's say 10 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. I don't have a way to keep time, so I'll count to 60 multiple times.
Right. Right.
Actually,
Oh.
oh, that would draw attention. Never mind. I do have something that lasts for 10 minutes, but I can't do that. Never mind. Okay, so I will just try to keep time best I can. And if it's been too long, I'll come looking for you.
Okay. I will carefully, like I'll kind of edge up to the entrance to the alley, and does it appear like there are any guard devils about in the vicinity?
Roll a perception check.
Actually pretty good. So my luck holds out.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So what you notice is there's nothing in front of that inn-looking place that you had passed earlier. But down the street a little bit and to the right, you do notice a a barbed devil. This devil that just seems to have a bunch of horns growing out of its sides and backs and up the top of his head, as he's dragging a group of lemurs down the street. These blob-looking individuals that are just kind of moaning and shrieking as you pull them down the street. And you just kind of in the distance, you just hear just moaning as he's like kicking. He pulls them down the street a little bit, and you watch him turn around, and he starts talking in a language that you don't really understand, and he kicks the blob once or twice and continues to pull them down the street. But as you look up and down the street, other than that, you only notice a group of 2 or 3 tieflings in the far distance talking to one another, and then up the street actually from you, and with a perception check of 20, you do see one human and a tiefling walking together, and they seem to be talking as their heads are kind of down, walking in a direction. They're pulling some kind of item on wheels with a cloak over the top of it.
Are they nearby the inn?
They're going in the opposite direction.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get behind them.
They're far
and-
up the road, opposite side
Oh.
of the inn. So the inn would be to your left and down about a block. They're about 2 blocks to your right and up the street, in the middle of the street, walking away from you.
Okay. I'll. Really not gonna be able to cross that distance in any timely manner without drawing attention to myself, probably.
To your left, where you had looked, there's not a whole lot going on. There's about 2 or 3 tieflings, a little bit farther than the inn door down, that seem to be talking. The barbed devil and the blobs that he's
Krawlers.
pulling along are farther down than that, and he's pulling them down the street. And as you keep watching, he just is still going in the opposite direction.
I will stick to the plan. I'll go towards the inn.
Okay.
Inn.
So you take a left out into the street quickly, and you make your way down into the front door. And what you notice is an infernal, and on the and then scribbled below it in poor scratch, almost handwriting. It is common, and it says the Crown of Iron, or Crown of Irons. And you hear like, low talking and kind of like not giggling, but like laughter, like from what you could kind of tell.
Okay. I'll step inside.
Okay. You step inside, and the moment you step inside, the heat seems to almost go down considerably. Not so much where it's like back in Rothos where the temperature seems to even out evenly. It's more probably like mid 80s, but it's better than like 150s.
Yeah.
So it's a little more comfortable. To your left, you notice a bunch of tables set up with individuals sitting around it, grotesque looking devils and monsters of some sort. Lower level ones. There's some tieflings, real beat up with scars. And they seem to be sitting around these tables, kind of talking. And as you walk in, they kind of like look up and they sneer, and then they go back to whatever they were doing. At the far end, you see a long bar that has a bunch of cups sitting on top of it, and you see this almost like Quasimodo hunchback-looking individual with this large, like, pustule up the back of the like popping up through the shirt and up the back from the top of it, and he's hunched over, and you can just see him like doing something. It looks like he's cleaning cups.
Okay. I'll kind of just step off to the side a little bit,
Okay.
like out of the doorway, and I don't know. I'll like pull out. What do I have on? I guess I'll pull out my my non-magical, like regular short sword and just, you know, kind of inspect it, looking like I'm for damage or something. But while I'm doing that, I'm listening to try to see if I hear anybody speaking common or any language other than this weird hell language.
Okay. You sit for probably 10 minutes, and you don't hear anything other than some language that you're unsure of.
At about that point, I'll just head back.
Okay. You find Arcadia just standing in the alleyway.
Will, did you have any luck?
Couldn't make out anyone speaking in any language other than whatever the local one is. There was common written on the sign, but it seems like it's not really spoken here. I didn't really want to go around asking questions.
Didn't want a chance speaking in common and having somebody question you.
Aye.
It's probably safer that way. Well, we're just gonna have to do this the hard way then.
I earlier did see a human and a tiefling walking down, and I'll indicate the direction
Okay.
I saw them going in. But that was right when I was peeking out, so I don't know which way they went. And I didn't hear them talking because they were far away, so I don't know if they would have been speaking anything other than whatever.
Did they look like they were together, or was the tiefling holding the other prisoner, or were you not ever able to tell?
The human was just walking with them, right?
With the tiefling, from what you could see, yeah.
No,
As
it
this happens,
wasn't chained up.
you hear you just hear high pitched screaming, like screaming and moaning.
Like the sound from when the door was opening? Is it the same?
Yeah, pretty close. And then you immediately turn to your left, and against the wall and about knee height, you see grates on the ground. And you kind of like crouch down and listen again, and it seems like below you, there seems to be just screaming and moaning.
Yeah, I wonder what's down there. Probably not good to waste time finding out though.
No, we don't hear any speech or anything. Just
Screaming and moaning. To go back to the other group, you feel like it's been about an hour, 2 hours, and you still only see the city walls as the sun just seems to wane right over the top of you.
Can we see the entrance still that we started at?
Not anymore.
Cool. So it looks like nothing has changed over the course of an hour and a half or so.
You said the sun just waned in the sky, like the same location the whole time?
It seems like it's still in the same location.
Kalen, do you think this is a lost endeavor?
Well, we can't see the city gates anymore, so there's no doubt that we've made some progress, but as to how much progress there still is left, I can't exactly say. I'm not sure if the progress in front of us is worth toughing it out through or if it's worth going back.
Yeah, I don't even know if. First, I don't know how big this place is. I don't know if time works the same way.
Kalen, do a religion check. Okay. You know, in some of the books that you have read, that it is said that the second level of hell, the city alone would usually houses around 500 to 600,000 demons and individuals.
Well, that's big.
It's a very large city, and kind of like you had said earlier, this is, the city mostly encompasses all of the second level of hell.
Yeah, that's pretty much why the city is named after the entire level.
Correct.
So I'm imagining.
They're pretty much one and the same, basically.
Yeah, I'm. Kaz is imagining walking the perimeter of Rothos, right? To find a lake. Right?
Or a river of some sort.
Could take
Yeah.
you a year or a couple of years.
Yeah. As the music kicks on.
Well, Kaylin, it's up to you. If you, I'm feeling discouraged, like maybe this is not the right thing to do. If you want to turn around and go back, I'd be okay with it. If you want to continue on for another hour or two to see if anything changes, I'd probably be okay with that also.
Let me see here. Do I have anything that could help us out?
God, Ginge, I don't know. I'm like, how do we do this? Because this city is just so massive. If there is a lake or a river somewhere, how would we find it?
I guess we have to find a way to ask the locals.
Well, I mean, I was like thinking we would be scouting through the city, like, but it's so massive, like, the two of us can't make that much ground. Like, it would take eternity. I don't know.
But we know the name of the body of water that we're looking for, right?
The River Nostrand.
Yes.
But I'll say to Kaz, do you have? Can you think up 3 questions that can be answered yes or no that might be able to help us out?
Oh, like the staff?
I'm asking Kaz directly.
Maybe is the best is maybe not the word I'm looking for, but is the best access to the river within the city? Can you get to it from outside the city? Maybe that would be a better question. Can you access the river from outside the city?
Or if it's not outside the city, like what? Oh, I'm meta. I can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think, can we access it from outside the city? And then we'll know if we need to go back to the entrance or not. We can also ask a direction. So that mean my concern is that's not the most efficient way of figuring out where it is, but we could pick a direction and ask, is it this direction? Preferably from the entrance to the city. Or it has to be yes or no, right?
It must be yes or no, correct?
I don't know what else we could do. I don't know how else we could narrow down its location.
Kaz, are you guys staying far enough away from the city walls that you would be inconspicuous, or are you guys getting close enough to see the city wall?
I think we want to be far enough away to where, in case there's a guard on the wall, that they wouldn't necessarily notice us.
Okay.
I mean, I want to be able to see the wall, but I don't want to be up next to it. If that makes sense.
Okay. But you would be close enough where you feel like you would get a pretty good look at the wall.
Yeah, I want the wall to be in sight, because I'm using that to make sure we're not walking in a circle.
Okay. A friendly voice peeps into your head, Kaz. Master. Oh, is this Dis?
Mimir, my man.
I have not been here since I was freshly made.
Oh.
I was gonna ask you if you had been here before, because I know you like to see new places. I had kind of assumed that you hadn't, because it's hell.
Yes. Well, with my old master, Faye, we traveled often.
Wait. Your old master was Faye, the one that came to the Nine Hells?
He's the one that found the
yes.
mortal entrance.
Yes. We were shown the way. It was fun. It was an interesting journey.
What? Why? What
there's
happened? What did?
How the fuck did you end up in the vault of the fucking Precur? What the fuck happened to this guy?
It was merely a exploration of intelligence. He wanted to learn and map the levels of this and the hierarchy of devils.
So, would you be able to get us to the river?
Well, the river runs through the south side of the city.
Does the entrance that we were at an hour ago, which part of the city is that?
That is the north side of the city.
Okay. And
it is the only way to enter the city.
As a traveler, does the sun work the same here as it does in Rothos? Meaning is a day, and does it rise in the east and set in the west?
Oh, a day is always a day. But no, the sun it's ever present here in hell.
The sun is a bitch here.
Yes, it is rather unpleasant, but I don't feel things the way you do.
That's fair.
Did you know that some humans, good and bad, bring other humans here to sell them and make contracts in exchange for good fortunes or power or all sorts of fun things?
Yeah, so Mimir, are we free as a party that have humans in the party? Are we free to move about the city, or will we be attempted to be captured on sight?
Both.
Oh no.
Okay. So,
It's not captured on sight, but if you are seen as intriguing or interesting, certain devils of higher ranks may want you as collection items.
if someone has the opportunity to abduct us, they'll take it.
Oh, they will try. Yes, Master
Yeah.
had a run-in with 3 or 4 of them. Two
Okay.
spine devil, or 2 barbed devils, and a bone devil, I do believe. Oh, but what was that gentleman's name? I believe he still lives here. I believe he stayed at an inn, and he was ever so helpful.
One of the devils,
Yes, we made a contract with him.
and it worked out okay.
Oh yes, the master was so smart.
Is this out of character? Is this out loud, or is this telepathically, just to me?
It's always telepathically just to you.
Okay. Hey, Kaylin, I can't really explain how I know this, but I'm pretty confident we should turn around and go back to the entrance.
Did you explain that your staff talked at one point?
I
No.
believe you did. No,
I don't-
no,
I
you
didn't-
didn't.
Oh,
I
you
don't think
didn't.
you
You
ever
know,
did.
he always played it off as like, "Hey, you know, I happen to know, or I read
gave
about
a-
this." He's been
A
very
clearly
vague.
bullshit answer.
Wait.
Freya a couple times where she suspected that I wasn't being truthful, but I don't
Yes.
think that I've ever said
Yes.
No, yep, you were
my
able to play
staff
it off.
told me.
Okay, then I'll respond.
Damn.
Well, being in the second layer of hell, forgive me for being rude, but I doubt you would know more than a holy man, so I would like a more specific answer as to how you have such a righteous hunch.
You know, I
Master.
just
He poses
Yeah.
a very good question.
I just remembered a childhood story about Faye and about how he made a deal with the devil at
Oh
an inn.
my god, Cass.
It's weird that I didn't remember it until now.
The
But you
sun's
know,
obviously getting to him.
yeah, maybe the sun reminded me. I'm not sure, but you know, a lot of the stories that I heard as a child are turning out to be true. So I just thought maybe this one is also true. It's worth at least investigating, I think.
So, are you casting Find the Path?
No, I want to, but I don't have the runes.
Okay.
Carved runes worth 100 gold. I don't have them.
And even if you found a vendor with them, you may not have the gold.
Yeah, so I thought we might be able to go to the city, and if we can find them here. Well, I don't actually know how this works. So this is a spell that's cast with using the staff of wandering. So I believe you still have to have those components.
I don't think you do.
Maybe you don't.
I don't believe you do. If you're using it through the staff, I don't believe you have to have the components.
Okay. So if that's the case, that could be an option. But
Yep.
I'd still want to wait till we get to the city to cast it.
Because I believe anything cast through the staff only uses the charges. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Because it acts as a focal point.
Okay. So the only other thing I want to ask Mimir is if Dragonborn are common, and I guess in order to ask him that, I would have to ask I'm assuming Kaz knows what a Dragonborn is and or has seen one before.
You've
I don't know.
never.
I don't know for sure if that would be true.
Yeah, you've never seen one, but you know of them.
Have heard of them.
Yes. Actually, no. You guys would have seen a Dragonborn because you guys would have seen
we met
it
one.
at. Yep, you guys met it at not Greymane, but Zariel's.
I don't think I was here for that. That was the Baron that had all the exotic shit, right?
That was the one that it was like all the sexual. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
missed that episode. Okay,
Yeah.
so I would have seen at least one.
You would
So I
have
know
seen
that this is
at
a
least
species
one.
that exists.
Correct. Yes. So he would answer back to you. Oh, well, Dragonborn are common all over the place, but in hell, maybe black and red ones mostly, but tieflings are very prominent here.
Would I be less inconspicuous as a Dragonborn?
Oh no, you would be higher. There's not many of them here.
But I can speak Draconic. I can't speak any other sort of demonic languages that a tiefling could speak. So my concern is that if I, in my head, to my staff, because I think maybe Kaz suspects that she may be crazy a little bit.
Possibly. All Caitlin sees is you just standing next to your staff, like
just quietly, sort of nodding.
just staring off.
Oh my god.
But my concern is that if I'm a tiefling and someone speaks to me in a language I don't understand, that it will be suspicious. But a dragonborn speaking Draconic, seems less suspicious to me. So I don't know.
Too bad Kaylin can't shift into something.
Possibly. I'm not sure though. But there's so much information here. Oh, there's the Bastilles of Flesh. It's the House of Mortals who are captured wandering to hell. Oh, jailers force them to compete to survive and strip them of decency, ultimately corrupting them. Oh, and the Bastille of Souls. That's a really cool place, Master. A warehouse of soul shells that are not lawful evil, but somehow ended up in hell anyways. Oh, they're traded for ransom, and their souls cannot be raised or resurrected. Oh, and then there's the fetters. That's the slums where the planers come to trade, like humans and tieflings and all sorts of bad guys. Gangs of thieves fight for control. Oh, dissipator spies and informants are everywhere in there. Oh, the inns, that's in the fetters as well. The Crown of Irons. The Crown of Irons. I remember that place. That's where that really nice demon was. Oh, but there's also Fool's Hope and the King's Arms. Oh, but we better not get caught, Master, because the Mentiri, that's where the prison holds mortals that broke the laws of hell. Oh, they're polymorph devils to sow seeds of discord, and once corrupted, the prisoners are killed and reborn as lemurs. Oh, they're like big blobs. It's really gross, Master. It's really gross.
Oh my god, Mir is my spirit animal right now.
You seem very excited.
Oh, yes. Our Master, Faye, he saw all of them. It was really cool. But he was able to change his appearance, and he changed his appearance into a barbed devil, so he got into a lot of places.
Barbed devil. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's a hierarchy, Master. Limers are at the bottom, barbed devils are second, bone devils are third, bearded devils are high up, and then you have horn devils, spine devils, pit fiends, chain devils, Aranyes, and Amitsus. Oh, Master, there's a whole hierarchy here, and they live off of respect and death and torture.
Mimir, are you happy traveling with me?
I've seen lots of fun places, Master.
I worry that you haven't traveled enough sometimes. I'm glad to hear some excitement from you.
Well, it's why I was a little quiet. We really hadn't seen anywhere fun that I hadn't seen in a while. This was a really good one.
All right. So I'll turn to Kaylin after a really weird silence.
For like 10 minutes, just Kaz,
I was literally just about to say,
sort of in a
before
trance.
you even say anything, I'm gonna look at you. I've been looking at you for the past 10 minutes. You just nodding at your staff, and I'm gonna say, Kaz, if you're not going to tell me the truth outright, then I'm just going to make assumptions, which I believe to be highly accurate. Also, don't forget that we've literally seen Ping stare at a sword for 10 minutes straight and talk to it.
That's not a lie.
Yeah.
If you want to withhold things, that's perfectly fine. But remember, we grilled Arcadia for not being truthful with us. I think it would be a little bit hypocritical to not be truthful with each other.
You know, Kaylin, I think you're right, and I think in my life generally I've always been suspicious of really religious people, like the headmeister at the temple, who clearly was not being upfront with us. But it's probably not fair to lump you in with all of them. With everything that we've been through. So this staff that I found in the dragon's lair is a sentient staff. He loves to travel. He talks to me sometimes. I think he talks to me. There's a slight chance that I'm maybe going crazy, but I'm pretty sure that he talks to me in my mind. And he says that he's been here before.
I assumed as much.
And he says that we should go to an inn called the Crown of Irons. And that when he was here last time, he was with a group that they were able to make a deal with one or more of the devils there. And they got a lot of intel. And so I think we need to see if we can head that way too, at least to scope it out.
To the inn we shall go then. Also, just I do know the local language, so that might help in giving us some leeway for them to maybe consider us citizens.
Oh man. Okay. I'm worried that I tried to get a sense of if we would just be attacked and abducted on sight if we just walk in the city. And I got a big maybe. So it's not super clear to me. That may happen, but it may not. So
what you gleaned was the abnormal stick out, kind of like in Rothos. The abnormal stick out, and if you're deemed as something somebody might want as part of a collection, you might get collected.
So I can blend in pretty well. I know you probably can't, but we'll just have to be careful there.
Very well.
But I think we should head back, try to regroup with the others, let them know kind of where we should head.
We shall do so then.
All right.
So you guys begin to make your way back towards kind of where you came from?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll go back to the other two. Well, actually, no, we won't, because Strat's not back yet. So we'll say it takes you guys about an hour or so. You guys make your way back to the main entrance. And you see people are still kind of going in. There seems to be kind of a line of people going in and people coming out. Nothing really has changed in that aspect. You, I believe, you still look like a tiefling. Cast.
Yep.
Okay. So, you are back to the front entrance. Morn is kind of standing behind you, just staring at the front entrance. Kalen's off to your left. And you guys are just kind of hanging out. What are you gonna do?
I think we should just go through the line. Say that we have some business at the Crown of Irons. And let
Master, I would not recommend telling people where we're going.
okay. Nix that. But we need to, I guess, Kalen, we just need to think of a story of I'm assuming they're gonna ask why we're here.
Just tell me what you would like me to relay if they don't speak common, and I shall relay it.
Mimir, could I tell them that we're looking to make some trade? We're going to the fetters, I think is what you said, where people go to trade.
Yes, the master used that as a cover. He said that he was trading off his two friends that were with him. He had disguised himself as a bone devil, and he had made his way into the city saying that he was selling new human remains.
Okay. So I'll tell Kalen that we have some artifacts and some human remains that we need to trade for, and that if anyone asks, Morn is one of our bodyguards.
Very well.
Okay, so you guys are making your way towards the front gate?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys make your way towards the front gate. You guys get in line. You're about 6 or 7 people back from the entrance. The line moves rather quickly, but as you guys make your way towards the front entrance, the two devils that stand on both sides kind of look at you. They don't look at you per se, Kaz, but they look at the two larger humans behind you.
Before we got up there, could I have heard some stuff from the people in front of me?
Possibly, yeah. Make a perception check.
Just want to see what kind of reasons people are using for entering the city and whatnot.
Okay. What you're able to glean with that is some people coming out and people going in. You hear talk of trade. You hear talk of people coming back from watching some fights at the pits of Dis. You also hear of Lord Dispater, the actual people right in front of you. You hear of Lord Dispater has been on edge the last couple of weeks, and he has his what did I name? He has the Glancers out in the city.
Okay.
And that people are being watched closer. And that's all you're able to really glean.
All right.
But as you get closer to the front gate entrance, the two demons actually stare back at you. And they're kind of look at you, and they lean across the way, and you would hear the other one. They start talking to one another. Kalen, as you would hear this, you hear humans. What are humans walking towards the gate so casually? Are they chained? I don't see chains. Do you think we should report this? Maybe. Watch them. Send a report off. and you just keep making your way towards the gate. As you kind of pass on either side of them, they both kind of look down at Morn and at you. Not so much Kaz, because you're just a tiefling walking through, but they look at the two humans standing directly behind you, and they just stare at you go through.
Okay.
But they
Make
don't
a-
stop or ask us a question.
Not that you're aware of. Make a perception check, both of you. Oh,
Wow.
baby!
Oh
Actually,
no!
I'll roll for Morn. Natural 8. Okay.
Rolls are not good.
You are too distracted and kind of blocked by the people coming in and out of the gate that you guys just like quickly make your way through the gate.
Okay. Once we're inside and away from those guards, I'll whisper to Kaz. From what I could pick up, they seemed pretty suspicious of us. One of them said that they'll likely be sending a report to the higher ups of our arrival.
Okay. Maybe we should. Okay. We'll just be inconspicuous. Don't draw attention to ourselves, but
Morn leans down. How do you want me to be inconspicuous?
just do your best, buddy. Just do your best.
Okay. And like stands back up, and you watch him like pull like a little cloak, like a little half of a cloak, like a half cloak, and he kind of puts it up over his head and like up over his shoulders like a little doll, and just like punches over a little bit, and then like continues to walk.
Clearly too small.
Yeah, like way too small, way too small.
Okay. And when we get in, can we see what's what or get an idea of?
So,
There we go.
I'll let you guys roll another perception check because that was for different. Because that was awful. Okay. You come in and immediately it branches three ways, almost like a trident. There's one path that goes straight ahead. There's one that goes to your left, and then there's one that kind of arcs off towards your right. You see the majority of the people heading towards the right, but you do see a fair amount of them going straight ahead, and you only see like one or two go off to the left.
I vote we go left where the least amount of people are.
Looking for a tavern, correct? I would imagine that they would keep such a necessary place on the main road.
True.
But I'll leave the decision up to you.
I think that the inn that we're looking for is maybe a bit of a seedy place. So it is hell. So maybe that means that seedy places will be in populous roads.
I'll defer to the wisdom of you and your friend.
I'm gonna send Mimir a quick text on my speaking stone. See if he can remember.
You just hear a lot of humming, like really happy humming, and you like a lot of like super super random facts about hell. Like you just hear a lot of like talking of like the distill of flesh, and something about the specters of this, and a garden of delights. But the garden of delights aren't good. But the garden of delights was really pretty though. And just a lot of like random facts about the hierarchies of demons. How they're always trying to one up each other, and in order to move up in rank, that either a member, they all follow. There's several like generals of hell, and then everybody kind of falls in behind that, and behind each one of those generals is usually like a pit fiend, at the high end, or I can't speak, an Amitsu, and then below an Amitsu is usually a Aranye, and then pit fiends, and then below each one of them basically comes like a hierarchy of like lieutenants and devils and whatnot, and he talks, and you can just hear him like spouting off random facts about how they're always trying to kill off one of them, and that's how you basically move up in rank. And as you move up in rank and power, those below you pretty much always obey. But he doesn't really answer you right away. He just seems like he's very engrossed in what's going on, right?
Yeah, Kalen, I'm not getting a real good reading here. It's a flip of the coin, as far as I know.
Whatever you think is best.
Let's head left and see where it goes.
Very well.
Okay, so you guys begin to head left. And as you head left, the temperature picks up a little bit, but it definitely gets, like, you were like really creeped out being in hell, and it was already really seedy, but it has taken it to a whole new level. Like, the people that you were walking in the streets seem to kind of disappear into side alleys, and you just see like glances of shadows as they go from like one alley street to another alley street. You see figures, like cloaked figures and shadowed figures, passing by these like broken down little homes. You just see like flashes of shadows as they go by windows and like broken doorways and whatnot. And that's about after like 5 or 6 minutes of walking.
Nothing that looks like a busy tavern or inn.
You don't even see what looks like what could pass as a home right now.
All right, Kalen, I think we might have. I think you might have been right, and maybe we took a wrong turn here.
Lord Despater is a smart man. Even he knows how business works.
Yeah. Okay.
So as you guys are walking, an individual walks out from behind behind one of the alleys and walks up right in front of Kaz. Because I'm assuming you're leading the way right now.
Yeah.
He walks up and he kind of touches your staff and leans in really close, and half of his face almost looks like it's like slothed off and hanging. And he kind of, as he looks up, and the cloak folds back just a little bit. And he's probably like 4 feet, 2 feet from you right now, so he's pretty close. And he looks up, and he looks almost reptilian, with like nasty teeth. He's missing it, and he smells awful.
Hello. Do you have some money?
He says, "Is this in common?" Right?
Yeah.
Okay. No. I'm just gonna say no. Keep walking.
My apologies.
And then he starts speaking in a language you don't understand. Kaylin, you would understand this language. And you hear,
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you don't speak in my language. I assumed with the humans behind you, you would talk in common. Would you like a little drug or entertainment?
I'm just gonna ignore him and follow Kaz.
and he keeps a pretty good hold on your staff, and he kind of like holds you there as he has like one hand out, and then he like opens up his cloak a little bit, and it has like that like really seedy like he's selling watches type shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll just say to Kaz, remember, this is a realm of contracts and bargains. I don't think it would be wise to take anyone up on their offers here.
Oh, also, Kaylin, you would know some lesser forms of contracts are signed with literally the shake of a hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I said no offers. Not a good idea.
What do you think? I have some really good things here. What do you think?
And he holds out a hand, and like with his left hand, as he lets go of your staff, with his left hand he holds out what seems to be some kind of dice, and with his right hand he looks like he's looking to shake hands.
I think as soon as he lets go of the staff, I'm gonna pull it as hard as I can towards me.
Yeah.
Again, say not today, and start to walk off. But I don't want to turn my back to him.
I see. Well, we'll see you around.
Got a
And,
busy
like,
day today.
And he steps off into the steps off into the shadow and just disappears.
What a knob. Let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll head back towards the entrance to go the other way.
Okay. So you guys head back to where you guys are kind of coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you make your way back to where the main entrance is, you see a lot of people still heading to the right, and you see a lot of people still heading to the center. It seems to be almost an even flow now.
I don't know why my gut tells me not to go straight south, but it does. So I would say go to the right,
Okay, so you're gonna head right.
unless Kalen objects.
No, we can see where it goes.
Okay, so you guys begin to head right as you guys follow the crowd. About 5 or 6 minutes in, it's definitely not as shady as the way you guys went the last way. But it seems to get busier, and as it gets busier, you do notice after about 5 or 10 minutes, it opens up into almost like a bazaar. As you guys notice, a lot of shops and a lot of items being sold, a lot of things that you haven't recognized before. Creatures displayed out on the sides of these carts that you have no idea what they are. You see a couple humans that seem to be flayed out as well. As you watch as small children run by, and what are those things called where they have them on those big turning wheels, and they're rotating them?
Carousel?
Huh?
Like a carousel?
No, not like a carousel, but with meat.
Like
the
when you go to a
kebab.
Greek place and they have
Yeah, and they
the
shave off
Like
they
the
shave
kebab
off the
stuff?
side. Yeah, and you watch as like humans or humanoidish type creatures are flayed up and are just being basically kebabbed down and then put on the little sticks, and the kids run off and they're eating them. And you see several other carts where there seem to be large diamonds and jewels of some sort being sold. You see some other carts where there's flowers or something that looks like flowers, and almost like vials of green murky liquids.
Do I know if this is the fetters?
You're not sure. Seems like it might be.
I'll just tell Kalen I think this is what we're looking for, but I'm not completely sure. Let's keep an eye out for an inn or a tavern. I think there's a handful of them here.
Very well.
We're looking for since you read the language, we're looking for the crown of irons.
You see many signs kind of up along these some of these smaller businesses. You notice one that says knickknacks and sheep heads, You see one that's vials and potions, or curses and tomes. You see a couple. You do see one that says the Fool's Hope, which looks like a little bit of an inn. And then you see next to it, you see some kind of what seems to be some kind of like potion or something shop. You see almost a little bit down from that, you see like what looks like a general store. After you guys just keep walking.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Make another perception check for me, Caleb. Since you're the one kind of reading the signs.
There we go.
Nice. It takes you a little bit. But you walk around this entire bazaar, and you don't see you see the Fool's Goat, and you see like another one that looks kind of like an inn. And you start to get a little bit confused. But as you pay attention a little bit more, a larger building at the far end of the bazaar, about a block out, you see a giant sign that actually looks like a crown.
I'll point it out and I'll say, think that might be the one we're looking for?
Think it is. Surely.
Okay. So you guys begin to make your way towards it. As you make your way towards it, the sign actually points you back, like left, towards another alley. Or not like in the alley, but more of a main street. And you walk down that main street a little bit more, and it actually leads you back out onto another main, like a large street. And you walk for about another block and a half, and as you do, to your right, you notice a large sign that says, in abyssal, Fool's Gold, and then right below it, in almost like squiggly, scratched lettering, in common, it says, I forgot what I named my fucking thing.
The Crown of Irons.
The Crown of Irons, thank you. I was thinking Fool's Hope, but the Crown of Irons.
Are we ready to go in?
I think so.
Do we have a sense of time of day?
You're unsure. You know you came here at the crack of dawn is when you entered the temple.
The lake, yeah.
You spent probably about an hour or two doing that, and then you seem to have entered hell probably another 40
2 hours ago.
Yep.
Because we walked at least 2 hours.
Yep.
So maybe early afternoon.
Something like that. But the sun seems to have not moved one bit.
Okay. Let's go in and see if it looks like a regular inn that we're used to, right? Tavern, tables.
Taz, both you guys roll a Constitution saving throw again. Should have had you guys do this a while back. Hey. Yeah. Kalen, you have 1 point of exhaustion. As the heat just gets to you. You finally get to a point where you're just like, oh fuck. And you can just feel like you can, if you look at Kaz, if you were to turn around, you're in Texas, so you would actually know exactly what this looks like. But when you look at Blacktop and you can see like the
waves.
You look back at Kalen and his whole body is just like miraging.
Yeah.
And he looks pale and flushed, and the hair, his beautiful, usually perfectly wavy and cropped hair, is like matted to the sides of his head and face.
Hey man, you doing okay over there? You look like you're struggling.
Well, as you can imagine, it's not easy being in this armor, but I'd rather not risk losing the protection.
Let's find a spot to. So as we go in, are there tables?
Yep. So and as you walk in, so what you wouldn't know this, but as you walk in, immediately the temp drops, or seems to drop it. It's not like 150, but it feels pretty close to like mid to like early 80s, and you just kind of like immediately, almost like a little bit of a sense of relief.
Yeah.
But as you walk in, to your left, you notice a bunch of tables sprawled out with several lesser demons, tieflings, and other humanoidish type figures talking, conversing. To your right, there's a couple more tables, and almost like a little trough that runs the side of the wall. And then as you look forward, there's a grotesque-looking individual that's hunched over, looks to be cleaning some sort of glass with a bulbous, like, I don't know, like a Quasimodo-looking hump popping out from underneath his shirt, and he's just like cleaning something.
I'll see if I can find a table that's open to the left area.
Okay, there's two of them open.
I'll just tell Kaylin and Warren to grab a seat, and I'll see if I can get something cold to drink.
Okay.
And I'll approach the hunchback.
Okay, you approach the table, and you are immediately greeted with by this hunchback individual, and he turns around.
Broken death.
Can we get
Oh, you speak common? I haven't spoke common in a while.
it'll be good practice for you.
You're not from around here, are you?
I've been out capturing humans for a long time, so I guess I've really brushed up on my common.
He kind of looks you up and down.
Sure.
And like continues to clean his glass.
Can,
What'll
can I,
be?
can I get 3 of just something cold to drink?
Cold.
And like
1 second.
and like comes back and like these like 3 steins full of something cold.
50 silver.
All right, I'll pay him and take him back to the table.
Okay.
And just I want to smell it before I do anything else.
It smells like a mixture between ale and maybe manure. You're not sure. It smells kind of bad, but it looks cold.
I'll just put 2 of them, one in front of Warren, one in front of Kaylin, and say, I don't know what this is.
Warren immediately, go, and like 4 big gulps. And then you watch his face like grimace, and he's just like, oh, that was really bad ale.
I was gonna recommend.
I was gonna
proceeding
say
with
maybe
caution.
he should try it first. He's got good constitution.
Yeah, does he keep it down?
Yeah, he keeps it down. He's got like that old man sour face look.
Kaylin, you're not immune to poison, are you?
No, I'm not, and I did not prepare purify food and drink today. But I mean, Morn looks like he's doing all right. I mean, anything to alleviate, I suppose.
Yeah,
They've probably given me similar herbal remedies at the temple.
Probably.
So yeah, I mean, I'll try a little bit.
Okay.
Not total, just like a sip.
You take a sip. It tastes like watered down ale that somebody maybe peed in, but you're not sure. But
Definitely
it's cold.
spit.
Maybe Peden.
But it's cold.
Definitely spit.
they definitely did something to it.
Possibly altered by bodily fluids.
When in
It's-
hell
I
I
mean,
suppose.
Yeah, it seems all right. It just tastes really bad.
Yeah, I'll just start casually drinking.
Like shit.
So while this is all happening, Arcadia and Henri, you guys are, one of you is standing in the hall or in the alleyway right now, while the other one, you said you were going to try and find that cart, or you guys were going to look for that cart.
Is that what we said we were gonna do?
Mm?
Well, you had pointed out where the cart was and which direction it had gone.
Mm.
And we're
Oh
kind
no,
of
I was
backtracking
I was
about...
talking about the tiefling and the human that I saw walking.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we were kind of came to the not the recollection. We kind of came to the understanding that it's going to be something that we might have to go about doing the hard way.
Right.
So we were not going to be pursuing the cart. Next steps, we were probably going to discuss like a game plan of how to stealthily go about the city, because we have not been given the same information that Kaz, Kaylin, and Morn have, so we're still under the impression that we need to remain hidden. So that's kind of where we are right now.
They were in an alleyway next to the inn. Would they have seen us like walk in?
Well, we're backtracking now.
Oh yeah.
So this would have been about an hour previous to what you guys were doing.
Okay.
So you guys at this point hadn't even really entered the city. You guys are making your way towards going back now.
So
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit at a loss.
as am I. I don't know if we just start walking the alleys. I don't really know how big this city is. It looks very large. I don't know how long it would take trying to find water here, if that's what we're looking for. It seems like it would not be beneficial or efficient to go about just wandering the alleys, but I'm not sure what else to do.
Maybe if we make our way more toward the center, we'll get a better idea of the layout.
Ginge, based on where we know we came in from and how far in we went, would we have a direction in mind of, like, city center if we were to head in a particular direction?
You would know city center. It would look like to your right. There's a giant tower in the what looks like to be the center of the city, like just a giant tower.
Well, that's probably the center of the city, and looks probably really far away, right?
Yeah.
Well, best guess that is the center. Would probably take many hours for us to reach it. I'd say we could try and get a vantage point, but that would again be on you because I don't really have a way of blending in.
As you say this, another one of those eyes hovers, like probably like 20 feet above you, and like goes over and like stops out in the street, and like looks back and forth, and then down at the street, hovers for about a second or two, and then continues on.
Did it seem like it saw us?
You're not sure.
I'm also concerned about those eyes. I don't know if they're just looking out for trouble or if they're looking for suspicious individuals. Do you have any plans in mind? Do we meet back up with your friends, or do we do something else?
Well, don't really have a way to contact them down here. So, as of right now, I don't know where they are. If they're making their way in or around the city, don't really have a way to know. So I think we might just be on our own for now.
I
But
think you
I
might
would
be
like
right.
to try, if we can, to find them. If they do come in, it's possible that they might be drawn to the same place, that inn. It was actually an inn, it seemed to be.
Would they have any way of communicating with anyone in there?
Would I know that Kalen spoke Infernal? I don't think I would have any indication for that.
Maybe
Yeah,
based
you
on
would.
the book, the fact that he was
Because-
transcribing the pages.
Yep, you would know because he's transcribed pages, and I believe he's brought it up on a couple different occasions that he speaks Infernal.
Okay.
You said the book was in Abyssal, though, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, never mind. Well, so we would know that.
Well, yeah.
We wouldn't necessarily know that you spoke
Well, I
Infernal
don't-
then.
Which I think is fucking strange because Abyssal is the language from the Abyss, not the Nine Hells. But that's a question for another time.
Yep.
Well,
I'm not sure most of our characters would know that distinction.
Probably
yeah,
not.
that's what I was thinking.
You just know.
So
he
we would just
speaks-
assume that he could read the skin-bound book in whatever hellish language that was in, basically.
Mhm.
Well, Kalen does seem to know his way around, these types of things. Was able to read this book that was in some weird, possibly hellish language. So if anything, if anyone can understand the locals, I believe he can.
Wait. So your holy man,
Aye.
he has a hell book? Or he reads a book in a hellish language?
Something that they found prior to me hooking up with him.
Interesting.
Honor gets around. She's hooking up with them. The holy man, especially.
That's, I have to say, a little concerning for me. But, won't worry about that right now. So, more importantly, how would he manage getting in the city? Being that he was heavily clad in armor and he's a human? We had to sneak in. I don't believe they were gonna be coming inside.
Well, they're definitely not as stealthy as we are.
Both
But-
you guys roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. But
Arcadia, the heat is starting to get to you. Just standing in this alley, the sun beating down on you guys.
the black hole sun.
We're gonna have to do something about this heat as well. I don't know how long I can handle it.
Actually, I believe that's your second failure. So
Oh wait, let me
performance.
I did a 18 constitution save
Okay.
previously.
okay. Okay.
Yes, I'm not sure what we should do. I don't recall that being part of the plan, them coming inside here. I thought we were going to scout and then they were going to look outside. I'm not sure how he would get in, even if he can speak a language here. It might not be safe for him to come in.
And well, I think the only one capable of anything like I can do with my disguise is Kaz, but the other two, I guess, just to be at the mercy of luck. They decided to come in.
As you guys are talking
Oh,
in the street, you guys begin to hear and then you hear a language that you don't understand. As you kind of peek out into the main street, you see people to the left and the right, tieflings, other dragons, or not dragons, other devils and whatnot move off of the main street as you see this large, abnormally large, devilish-looking creature that is um, almost like World of Warcraft Manarok.
which one was that? Anarach? Is that the right word? Pit Lord!
Yeah, like a pit lord.
Hmm.
Like the on all fours, but he still has two hands.
Two hands.
Here. Yep, and
Big-
he's walking.
Okay.
down
Thanks,
the
guy!
street. Yeah. Surrounded by other demons of whatnot, and they seem to be just walking down the main thoroughfare.
Well, we probably want to vacate, maybe try and find a reprieve from the heat while we figure out what we do. Or what we do next, rather.
Both you guys roll stealth checks. As the pit lord walks by,
I have advantage.
or the pit fiend. Okay. As the pit fiend walks by, grabs Andre by the throat. No, I'm just kidding. He walks by, and at the last second, Arcadia sees this coming, and you actually dive to the floor and manage to get behind a bunch of what you think is trash. You take 1 point of damage as your skin begins to sear. But as you dip down and this pit fiend crosses this alleyway, he looks directly at you, Andre. And then just snuffs and continues walking on. After about 2 or 3 minutes, the rest of this procession continues to march down the way as they're pulling 5, 6 lemurs behind them with about 2 or 3 other barbed devils. They continue to walk down the thoroughfare. On the main road, I should say.
Well, they were probably important.
One of those things.
No. Probably some kind of high commander or something. Maybe even the one that runs this place.
For that, your guess is as good as mine. At least you didn't come this way.
We need to get out of this heat. Since we don't know what we're going to do, we may as well try and get out of the heat a little bit before we get exhausted.
Well, it was a bit cooler in the tavern.
I could try and sneak inside somehow. If there was.
Were there any humans in the tavern last I was in there?
Humanoid-ish, but
Hmm.
mostly grotesque-looking demons of some form or another.
Hmm.
Did you notice if there was any other doors, or was there just the main opening? I could try and sneak in somehow.
Or did it seem like there were any other doors?
It just looked like from what you'd walked into the one.
Seemed like the only way in was the front.
Well, I would be willing to venture back that way, and then maybe you could go inside, and then I can see if I can find a way in. Only thing is, how long does that disguise of yours last for?
How long has it been at this point? Because it only lasts an hour.
Then I would say you would have had to have cast it again.
Okay.
Yep.
So I will.
And
I will
you're
do that
coming
to
up to
maintain
the end of that again.
Oh shit! It's been that long.
Oh, because
Yeah.
we came in, we talked, he went like 10 minutes and came back.
Mm-hmm.
So how has that been a whole hour yet?
So you came into the city. which
Oh,
took you
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
while.
yeah. I forgot about that. It was before
Yep.
that. Never
Yep.
mind.
And so you burned through that, and now
Well,
you
no,
guys
I
have
didn't.
been-
I didn't have it when I was coming into the city. I cast it once we got to the alley.
Okay.
No, because remember we said you still hid, but it was just in case you were found out, it wouldn't be as bad because you were a.
That's what I thought. I thought
A
you
creature.
would cast it right when you got up to the back of the cart.
No. I definitely was. It was
You
definitely.
could be
in the
right.
alley.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
remember exactly. It could
Well,
have
then
been.
I would say that you're just starting your second. Then the
Okay.
second part of your
Okay.
your disguise.
Yep, I will burn the spell slot then. To maintain it.
Alright, well, since we don't have a good plan, at least getting out of the heat, I'll see if I can find a way into the inn. So I am going to try and stealth via alleyways toward maybe
Yeah.
the back of the inn or something, if there's an alley that leads toward
I'll lead
to
the
the
way
back.
toward the building.
But I'm not going to walk down the main street.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably duck in and out of alleyways as I can to stay out of the main pathways and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if I can trek through the alleyways to get to the inn.
Okay.
But I'm going to obviously stealth because I still don't want to be found out.
Since I'm casting it again, can I make a slight alteration to my disguise?
You can make whatever alteration you would like.
Okay, I'm gonna so I'm still like the tiefling and everything, that's still the same. But my mouth, I'll have it look like it's sewn shut.
Okay. Interesting.
Alright, so I'm going to stealth.
Okay. So you're stealthing. Okay.
Mhm.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going to break off from Honore and just make my way through the alleys towards where I saw the inn. But I'm
Okay.
gonna.
Which is only it's. Oh, would we lose?
Rhythm?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Rhythm
not-
went offline.
No. Curses.
Well, anyway, I'm sure it'll come back up. Um, So I'm going. Yeah, it wasn't far away, but based on where I remember the inn being, I'm just gonna take some alleys or like little bypasses to get back to it, and try to avoid being on the main road. This whole time, I'm gonna have obviously my cloak on and over my head to try and shield myself a little bit, or as much as I can, in case I'm seen.
Okay.
Alright, rhythm's back. I'm gonna try that again. Okay. Rhythm's back. We're good.
Okay.
We must have the Muzak.
Music.
Recognize this piece. Where's this from?
It is. The maze.
Oh, that's where it's from. Yeah, when shit. It's like when I think that like that crescendo bit there was when Harry sends up the sparks to help Fleur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not talking, are you, Ginge?
No, I'm
Oh,
listening.
just make sure. Okay. Well, I mean, that was it. Oh, I stealthed, then I was going through the alleyways to get back to the inn. Without being on the main road.
Okay. So you make your way out into the main road for just a second as you dip close to the buildings. Lay close as you can without being noticed. One bone devil and a couple limers walk past, and you manage to dip down just in time. As you manage to hide there for a little while, you sit and wait for them to pass by. As a couple of tieflings walk in the opposite direction, you kind of stand up, head down, and you make your way quickly towards the inn. About halfway to the inn, Henri, you get a little message
Oh.
from Kalen saying, "We've made it inside the city, thanks to some new information. Waiting inside the Crown of Irons, currently with Kaz and Morn."
If I look around, do I see Arcadia?
No,
Anywhere?
she's gone. She's
Okay.
dipped out. It takes you about a minute or two as you make your way to the front entrance of this building. The building that you had assumed Henri pointed out to you.
Sorry, wait, what? Say that again?
Arcadia had made her way to the front of the entrance of the inn that you had pointed out.
I wouldn't have gone to the front, because that was
Okay.
off the main road, so I would have been trying to sneak in, like, via alleyways to try and get in behind it somehow.
Okay, so you dip into a alley on the side, a darker alley. There seems to be a back entrance door into maybe a kitchen or some back way. You're not sure.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hale's Kitchen. I would... Is there a window on the door?
No.
Is there a window anywhere near the door?
No.
Of course not. Is there a second story?
Yes.
Are there any windows or balconies or anything of that such?
Make a perception check. You do see a small balcony with a window.
I'm going to try and vault up to that balcony somehow.
Okay. How are you going to vault up to the second balcony?
Give me a second.
From what you can see with perception, it is a straight alleyway, and there's nothing against the building, and it's straight up. Probably about 10 to 12 feet.
10 to 12 feet.
Come on, Mario, show us your hops.
Let me check here. Oh, that's for dash. Well, I mean, I could totally fucking parkour this shit. And just, like, run up the wall and try to grab the bottom of the balcony.
Okay. So
Like, get a
make
running start and, like, try to get
Yep.
some leverage off the wall with my feet
So
and hop up.
Make an athletics check.
You tic-tac up the wall.
Had to be athletics. Of course.
And you take 3 points of damage. As you take a run, you get about halfway up the wall and you think you're doing really well until your feet begin to smolder below. And as you like go to place your hands to give yourself that extra leverage, the moment you touch the side of the building, the tips of your fingers, kind of like Men in Black, just begin to like dissipate.
Oh, lovely.
And you like immediately almost kick off the wall and slide back down as you take the heat damage. And as you do that, an eye comes floating above and starts to look at the building. And as you notice that you kind of get low and you get as close to the building as you can without actually touching the building.
Okay. Probably should have done this before, but do I see like a barrel or a trash can before I tried parkouring up the wall? Not before, I mean just like I should have done that first, but do I see anything that I can use as
You see trash, but it's not like a trash can, it's just
bags?
There's a Donkey Kong Country barrel
Oh yeah.
spinning right at the bottom. You just have to time it correctly. And it'll
Oh
shoot
god.
You gotta hit that thing at the right time. And it'll launch you right up. But then when you get in, you gotta make sure you get it at the right time. It can shoot you right into the ground. I mean,
I would like to.
Don't go losing any of those extra lives.
I mean, this might be stretching, but can I like tie some rope to an arrow and try and? I wouldn't even have to tie rope onto an arrow. I could totally try and like. Oh, I don't want to like touch anything. I'm trying to like MacGyver this shit.
What are you doing while she's doing this? Because this is taking a little while. You do hear, and you did notice her take off towards the inn.
I mean, I would have probably made my way inside at this point.
Okay. So you have made your way towards the front of the... Make a perception check. Okay. Make another stealth check with disadvantage, Arcadia. Just curious.
God damn.
Okay. You go right by the alley that she's in, doing whatever she's doing, and you make your way to the front door. And as you walk in, to your left, you notice the hulking form of Morn sitting at a table right now.
I'll, do I, are any of them looking my way?
Not right now.
Okay. I'll go up to the bar.
Okay.
Does the barkeep, is he busy?
seems to be doing the same thing you did the last time you came in.
Okay. I'll like, kind of like, just knock on the bar a couple of times, just like.
Yes.
"Ugh."
Mm.
And like pours something in a glass and gives it to you. 50
Alright.
silver.
What?
He puts his hand up and speaks in a language you don't understand.
I'll just like look like I'm thinking for a second, and then pull out a gold piece.
His eyes go, his like one eye, like one good eye goes really wide, the other one kind of like opens up a little bit, and it's like really crusty and kind of pussy, and he
Oh.
like takes the gold.
Plop it in his hand.
Okay.
And then make my way. Is there like an open table nearby them?
There is one across the section from them. They have the last table free on their side.
I guess I'll just kind of like sip the. I'll sip the drink, and look like I'm looking around the room for a moment.
Okay.
And then just kind of meander my way, kind of aimlessly that way.
Towards them?
Towards them.
Okay. So while this is all happening, Arcadia, what are you still doing in the alley?
So I couldn't find a barrel or anything I could potentially stand on.
No, Donkey Kong barrel's not working correctly. It's actually out of order right now.
So is there like a rock, like a palm-sized rock anywhere?
I mean, there's like pebbles, yeah.
But
like
there's
smaller,
not like there's not a large enough rock that I could tie a rope around.
not you can see.
Fuck. What do I have in my pack? Basically what I'm trying to do. Oh, I have a bedroll. I could tie a rope around the bedroll. I'm trying to find something to wrap the rope around so that I can throw it up over the balcony or something. But I don't have anything. And I don't want to throw my bedroll because I have a fear that it would catch on fire. So yeah, so I'm not gonna chance catching the bedroll on fire. So I'm just gonna nix that idea. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, there's nothing stopping a rope from catching on fire too. So I am going to go around, and on the other side of the building, do I see like a window on the first story or a barrel or anything?
So you're gonna go around the back side of the building to the other side?
I'm at the back side of the building.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look
backside.
from the back side to the other side, peek around to see on that side of the building if there is any windows or...
Make a perception check.
Finally.
You see one small window, very small, and you see another door on that side.
I am going to sneak up to that window and peer inside.
Okay. You look inside, and it looks like a kitchen of some sort.
Do I see anybody?
After about a minute, you see somebody kind of walk by, do something, and then walk away out of the view of the window.
I would like to test the door handle to see if it is locked.
It is.
Oh, I have lockpicks.
Show us that lockpicking skill.
Or sorry, it would be like, that'd be considered thieves' tools?
Yes.
So how do I roll that? Do I just click on it and roll it, or what do I do?
Dexterity plus proficiency, I believe.
So would it be 14 then? Because it adds the proficiency of 4? Or...
It'd be 18 because it adds your proficiency bonus.
I have expertise in it too, though. Does that change anything?
Then the +4 from your proficiency would become a +8, so it's actually 22.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, so easily. And before the door.
Perfect. I'm going to sneak inside.
Okay, you sneak inside. It is a kitchen. And you do see somebody off to the right, probably like 10 feet away, cooking something. Larger looking, grotesque looking male. Looks like he has 4 arms, doing something over a bowl.
Okay, so I know there's a door in the back.
Oro.
I know there's a door in the back because that was by... that was where I was trying to parkour and failed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to go that way. I want to go towards the opposite direction of the back to try to head towards the front. Is there a way for me to sneak? I was going to say sneak through the kitchen. Actually, before I roll stealth, do I see any stairs, like going up to a second story in here?
Yeah, right in front of you.
Okay, never mind. So I wouldn't go... I would try and go up the stairs.
Okay. Still, roll a stealth check. Ooh. Okay.
Not good.
And you take like 3 steps, and you're just like, oh shit. And you stop, and you look down, and you hear, hello? Oh. And you hear, oh. Hello? Somebody's walking towards you. They're getting close. What are you doing?
Try and sneak up the stairs.
Okay. You going up the stairs?
Well, I can't go down the stairs. He's coming this way. Wait.
He's coming around the corner. You see the shadow as it comes around. As
Is he far away though? Like, can I walk back down the stairs and hide?
Not at this point.
Well, I'm going back up the stairs. I'm going up the stairs then.
As you like head up the stairs really, really, really fast, you hear something around the corner. Oh, and you just see this big, massive, almost like half dog looking head peek around the corner.
Great.
As you get around the corner, and it seems to lead into a another. There's a door, and then there's like a tiny little hallway, and then there's a door right in front of you.
So I'm at the top of the stairs, and I see effectively 2 doors.
Left. Nope. You get to the top of the stairs, and you take a left, and about a foot in front of you, there's another door.
I would like to very quietly test to see if that door is locked.
It is locked.
Fuck.
Oh.
How does Thieves' Tools work? Can I just use it again?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do that again then.
You don't break them.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, easily. This lock is a lot harder, but you just happen to... You've done this enough times, where you just happen to slip it into the lock just right. And you feel that first tumbler, and you catch it, and as you feel like a second secret tumbler come down, you last second flip another tool in and catch that, and push it back up. And as you do, you hear the lock just give way, as you feel the door open in front of you.
I'm gonna very, very, very cautiously just barely peek in to see if there's anybody in there.
You peek inside. You don't see anybody.
Perfect. I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna close the door and lock it again.
Okay. You go in and you lock the door. Seems to be some kind of bedroom.
Is there anywhere I can hide? Before that, is it cooler? Is it much cooler?
Yeah, it's much cooler in here.
Okay, good.
It's probably like mid 70s, 80s.
Okay. Is there anywhere that I can hide, like a wardrobe or under a bed
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
there's a ton of stuff, and you don't hear anybody coming up the stairs right now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stay by the door for now, since I know that I feel safe that it's locked. I'm just gonna plant myself next to the door and just kind of relax and cool off, being that was the plan, and just give it a little bit of time, I guess.
Okay. Back to the main group. What are you guys doing? Kaz and Kaylin. And Andre, since you guys are in the same room right now.
Dude, is Andre gonna come join us at our table?
Well, I mean, we don't know who she
I
is.
don't know who that is.
It's
She
just a
changed it.
random tiefling.
Oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't recognize
touche.
it. Just for all you know, a tiefling sat down at a table near you.
Yeah, once I get once I get close, I'll kind of like look around, see if they're like looking for empty chairs. And then I'll see I assume there's one at their table. One or two.
Yeah, I'd say there's two empty chairs.
Okay.
As you guys watch as this kind of seedy looking tiefling with his lips or her lips sewn shut keeps like moving chair to chair and table to table around the room. Around you guys and keeps like kind of looking at your group.
And I'll come over and I'll kind of like point to the chair and just be like,
As a random tiefling you've never seen before comes over and points at the chair next to Kaz, I believe it would be.
I'll just look at Kaylin and say, "Tell her the seat's taken."
All right. I shall say in Infernal, seats taken. So let's see where this goes.
Andre's probably like, what the fuck?
In Infernal, you hear in a
What?
language you don't understand. You hear Zunda, and you're just like,
and I'll just like lean forward and be like, "Hi guys."
as you watch as this kind of creepy tiefling leans in over Kaz's shoulder and goes, "Hi guys."
I'll just sort of look at Kaz like,
I was acting. Did I do a good job?
So recognizing the voice, I'll ask, did we lose Arcadia? Did you leave her behind?
No, she was looking for another way in. I got your message after we'd already separated.
good to hear.
And while I'm speaking, for the most part, I'm trying to like make it look like I'm just sitting there, like, you know, eyeing my drink or whatever.
Okay. And it's been about 30 minutes since you separated from Arcadia.
I don't know how much of the drink you've had, but I'm pretty sure they pissed in them.
Morn's already on his third.
Yeah,
Trying to stop.
he doesn't care at all.
Nope, it's cold. Morn's just like, nah.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking my time with this one. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It literally tastes like somebody pissed in a mug and then chilled it.
I can't tell if they don't like us here and this is what they gave us, or if this is just what they drink here. I really don't know.
Make a perception check, Kaz. You look up at the bar, and you watch him serve as two more people go up there, and one of them gets what it looks like you guys are, and then another one of them gets like a dark red liquor looking one.
And the guy that got the other one was a human, a tiefling, or something else?
Something else.
While we're sitting, waiting for Arcadia, I want to survey the room for some devils of some kind, so that later on I can change appearance to one of them. It just has to be something I've seen.
Okay, make another
So I'm
perception check.
I'm not going to do anything now. I just want to know kind of what I may be able to do later.
So you spot 3. There's one to your immediate left that got that red-looking liquor. Very skinny, almost looks like an iguana of some sort. The 2 eyes are kind of popping and bulging out of the heads, and there's 2 tiny little horns. You notice another one that's on the far side of the room that's larger and actually has bone protrusions all over the body, and he is just face down in this almost like this plate of food, but the food is kind of squirming, and he's just ripping off chunks of whatever it is and eating it. And in the far back right corner, and this one's harder to make out, you see an individual with a glass of wine, and he's just holding it in between his 2 fingers, and he's kicked back in a chair. And you're not able to see the full figure of the face, but you just see the glass of wine tip up, or a glass of something tip up every once in a while.
Okay. And to the group, I'll just say, I guess we give Arcadia a little bit more time. I mean, we just walked in the front door. Probably what I would recommend, but I understand why she didn't want to do that.
We weren't really taking chances before. Didn't want to be discovered and separated beyond recovery.
Yeah, so I think maybe we get a room, rest up a little bit, and I can fill you guys in on some of what we learned, maybe in a more private area.
Sounds good.
I second that motion.
Should we go ahead and get a room, or should we wait for Arcadia here a bit and see if she shows up? Why don't we have... Well, no, I don't like that idea.
Arcadia, what are you doing?
Hiding in a room?
It's been about 10 or 15 minutes at this point.
Is there any windows in the room?
There is one straight ahead of you where the balcony is. And it's not even like a window, it's more of an opening.
So is this the window to the balcony that I tried to parkour up to?
Yes.
Oh. So I'm in the back of the building. And there wasn't any other doors in that hallway, it was just this one?
Yes.
So this is effectively probably like a staff housing kind of situation?
Possibly.
The issue is that I don't... Given the current state of knowledge, she wouldn't be walking around, or wouldn't want to be seen by anybody. So she probably wouldn't be trying to... She probably wouldn't honestly go to, like, the main area of the tavern. Because she's not disguised. So... Man, I don't know. Trying to put myself in the shoes of somebody that's in a building in hell filled with creatures that she assumes would probably kill her or capture her. And I'm hiding in a room.
Alone. Yeah.
So, if it's been about 10 minutes...
And you
I
can
know.
hear, like, the clinking of pans and whatnot below you.
I know that Henri went back in the main way. So I would assume that that's where Henri is.
Yep.
Now that I've kind of cooled off, and knowing that I have a room up here that I can hide in, I'm gonna unlock and go peek out the door. Actually, I wouldn't go out. I'm gonna unlock and peek out the door, see if there's anybody there.
Nobody that you can see.
I'm going to very quietly walk down the hallway. I'm not going to go down the stairs. I'm going to listen and look and see if I can see anybody.
Okay, make a perception check. Okay. You don't see anybody. You do hear kind of like under the breath singing towards the bottom of the stairs.
I'm going to test the stairs with my feet. Oh, no. That was just me being loud. I'm going to attempt to stealth down the stairs, but if I don't do well and start to think that I'm being loud, I'm going to stop.
Okay. Make a stealth check. Okay. You put one foot down on the stairs. Nothing.
Okay, so then I'm going to very quietly go back down the stairs, keeping my eyes open to make sure that there isn't anybody that can see me coming down.
Okay, so this time you manage to, you remember how you came up the stairs, and you remember what parts of the stairs were squeaky, and you actually keep your feet to the outside edges of the stairs, and you kind of like crab crawl down the stairs, knowing that if you touch the center of the stairs, that for some reason they weren't put on correctly. You make your way to the very bottom of the stairs, and you peek around the corner, and that individual seems to be cooking again.
Is there cabinetry or whatever that I can like slink around to get around that individual?
Yeah, there's
and
a
head
ton
towards
of
the
different
front?
stuff, and there's a little door to the right of him that seems to lead out of the kitchen. Because in front to his left is kind of like where they put the orders from the kitchen, and you can see out into the
Main area?
Into the main area.
So they got their nice little expo line.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually going to head towards, seeing that there is a window kind of looking into the main area. I actually want to try and peek out there and see if I can see Henri.
Okay, make a perception check. Okay. You try to peek past this individual cooking and everything that's going on in this little like kitchen, and you're just having a really hard time getting enough of a vantage point to see out through the window. You see people sitting out there, but you're having a hard time making out Henri. You do see some like a bigger figure with his back kind of turned. It looks familiar, but you're not positive.
I'm going to try and get closer to that window opening so that I can get a better vantage point.
So you're gonna walk right behind this individual that's cooking? He's literally right to his left. So he's cooking, and right to his left is that opening for the window.
Is there like a door, like to get out to the main
his
area?
right. So if you come in and you take an immediate right, there's a door right there.
Alright, I'm gonna try my luck at that door. See, is it locked?
So you come around that door, and it's just like a little swing door.
Okay. Then I'm gonna very quietly and cautiously just barely open it just to peek on the other side.
Okay. There's a hallway to your left, and a door straight ahead of you.
I'm gonna peek down the hallway.
Okay, it looks like it opens up into a room, and it looks like there's somebody down there eating and drinking.
So, looks like it's probably to the main area then? From what I can glean.
Possibly.
I'm going to keep... I don't know. I'm gonna sneak down that hallway then to see if I can tell if it's in the main area.
You take a left and you start going down the hallway. And after you get about halfway down the hallway, you look out and you're able to see mostly into the building. And you do see Andre, Kaylin, and Kaz sitting at a table together.
And I can see that Morn and Kaylin are not disguised.
Yes.
So at this point, hood still up and everything. I'm going to not so much stealth like an individual creeping in the shadows and sneaking around on all fours or anything like that, because that would draw attention. I'm just going to be very discreet in walking around the edge of the room and try and edge my way over to their table.
Okay, well, you're going to literally be right in front of pretty much all of them as you come down this hallway. But as you come out of the hallway, you can take a left and basically go where the bar is, or you can continue straight and you walk right into their table. So as you come out of the hallway, they pretty much all are able to look up and see you coming.
My group can?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I'll head that way then.
Oh, well, there she is.
As you make your way to the table, they're all sitting there having some form of drink.
Well, I'm gonna walk up and very quietly take a seat and kind of, not really loud, but a little bit under my breath. Well, it's good to know, or it would have been great to know before that it was safe to be here in our normal state.
I wasn't the one who was informed of such circumstances. You might want to ask Kaz about that.
Because that would have been great knowledge to bestow upon everybody before we departed.
I didn't get the memo before we separated.
I'll fill you guys in next time. They had a welcome wagon for us. It was weird. They gave us like welcome bags.
Like the little hula, like the
Yeah.
when you get to
Waves.
Hawaii, like the yeah. Welcome to hell.
So you just walk through the front gates. Just walked in. That's lovely. So I went through hell just getting inside here. But glad to know that it's relatively safe anyway.
That's a really bad pun, Arcadia.
What?
You went through hell.
I went through hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good pun, that's why I used it.
I took 1d4 psychic damage.
I went through hell.
I
It
mean,
was
she's not
awful.
wrong.
Yeah. Let's and I guess I'll look at Kaylin and say, let's get a room to rest up, and we can fill in the rest of the group here. I guess up there. Can you talk to the piss vendor and maybe ask about getting a room? I'd feel best if there was a large room that we could all stay in. But I don't know what our options are.
I'll see if they have the proper accommodations. And I'll get up and I'll walk over to the counter.
Yeah. And in Abyssal, can I help you?
In Abyssal, not Infernal?
Or sorry, in Infernal. My
Okay.
bad. I keep messing my in Infernal.
Yeah. I'll reply back in Infernal. Do you happen to have a room that could house a group of 5?
I mean, smaller rooms. Could do 2 rooms and big enough for all of you.
And like you see for a split second, make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. Just barely, for some reason, you see his eye wander and look at something else, and then come back to you as he's talking, and almost like he's making like a confirmation.
Two, two rooms? Big enough for a whole group.
Let me go discuss it with my companions first.
Okay, and then as you're leaving, you see him look over at something again to make some kind of confirmation.
Yeah, I'll go and sit back down and I'll say to Kaz, yeah, the best he could do is 2 medium-sized rooms to house like half of each of us. But I'm not too sure staying here is a good idea. While I was talking to him, he seemed to be eyeing over someplace else. And as you remember, I told you earlier that they did send a report about us.
Yeah.
Oh, report. So you didn't just walk through safely.
Well,
As you guys are talking, a small winged imp lands at the table and begins like face first drinking out of your drink, Henri, like head down in your like your piss beer, and then like, and you just like the head pops up. Talk to you, talk to you, and a little note gets laid down in the middle of the table for you, and then you watch him like dunk his head again, come up and like take off flying. And there's a note laying in front of you guys.
I'll pick it up.
It's in a language you don't understand.
And I'll hand it to Kayla.
I'll take it, I'll say. And I'll read it.
Okay? It says, your presence has not been... Oh, the word I'm looking for. Your presence has not been
Well
missed.
concealed.
Has not been missed. ... I would love to have a conversation on better terms. ... E.
E.
And it's in like a very pretty cursive E.
E. E. E. E. E. I'll check my notes later. I'll look towards Kaz once more and I'll sigh and I'll say, well, seems someone is aware of our presence and they are requesting that we meet them. Some sort of mysterious informant.
Would Isaac be start with an E? That would be his initial, right?
No. I.
Okay.
IZAA or IZA. Damn it! I got me thinking how I spelled it.
IZAAK?
IZACC is that.
Oh, okay.
So I've been writing it wrong for a while.
Yes. Here, I'll spell it in chat.
IZAAC? Oh, 1A, 2 C's.
So this wouldn't be from him.
Not that you're aware of.
I mean, based on just that alone.
No.
Um,
As you're saying this, as you read this note and you look back towards the imp is flying towards the corner of that room with the individual that was drinking the wine, or seemed to be drinking some kind of red liquid, in the far corner of the room.
the imp goes there and stays there.
Yeah, like lands,
Like that's where he came from.
and then you see like the individual reach out and kind of like stroke 2 fingers over the top of the imp's head.
I'll sort of look towards him and just raise my glass and give him a head nod and acknowledge that.
You see the wine glass like tip slightly, and then like disappear into the shadows. Like all you're able to see from the shadows is like the bottom of the body and like where the hand is, but you can't see from like here up.
Well, this is very Aragorn like entrance into like Lord of the Rings. He's just all you could see is like his face light up when the cigarette, not the cigarette, but like the pipe lit up.
Yep. Except for without the pipe. No
Well,
pipe.
yep, and you could only see like the bottom half of him.
The note doesn't say.
By the way, I don't know who Kaz is. I know who Sid is. So as far as I know, we have a new individual with us because they've been referring to this individual as Kaz. And I only know Kaz as Sid. And I would not be familiar... Oh no, I would be familiar with the form, but I would just be confused why would they be calling him Kaz. I completely forgot about that.
No, you would not be familiar with the form.
Oh no, because he changed it. Okay, so I think 100% this is somebody different because they're referring to him as Kaz and Kaz introduced himself.
I don't know if you did change your appearance.
I think I did it right when we entered hell, so she probably would have seen me do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I see the individual I know as Sid being referred to as Kaz.
Correct.
Well, I'm not saying Kaz. I'm saying I'm looking towards him. I haven't said his name physically yet.
Okay.
Oh, I thought. Okay, so we were just talking to Kaz, but and saying Kaz, but not actually using the name. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, mystery informant.
Can we write back to him asking when and where we should speak? And I guess I should preface by asking. I think we should talk to him. Does maybe you guys don't agree? I guess we should agree on that first. Does anyone think that we should not?
He seems to be somewhat high-ranking. He likely does have some information.
I want to kind of like lean into the table, and I'll speak kind of softly, and I'll just say like, there's bound to be someone who wants to rise through the ranks here that could potentially help us because they want to rule this whole city. And frankly, I don't really give a shit who rules the city when we leave. I just want to get Freya back. So,
well, maybe
I'm
someone
not opposed to helping someone, right?
Well, certainly, I wouldn't say rule the city because I don't think anyone's overtaking Lord Despater, but there might be someone who might try and cut one of his lieutenants out of the picture.
Right. Someone wants to rise to. I mean, we need to get to Isaac. Someone below him probably wants to take his place. If we can find that person, they could probably help us.
As long as we're careful about what we say and what we agree to, being in the place that we are, I think that is a good idea.
I mean, one devil is just as bad as another. Which one is in that role? To me, doesn't matter, right? We need to get
do what we came here to do.
Exactly. We need to get Freya before it's too late, and then their bureaucratic organization is not of any importance to me.
Agreed.
I agree. Fuck them.
So you're gonna write back?
So, Kaylin, do we want to write back asking when and where we should talk more?
I'm certainly in favor. Can we actually summon the little imp back?
Possibly.
I think if you write on the paper, maybe he'll notice, or maybe we can just give him wave of the hand to come back and get it.
Very well.
What are you writing to this individual, or are you not writing?
Let's see. What did the original note say?
Damn it. Your presence has not gone unnoticed. I would like to have a conversation in more private matters. Or private quarters.
Okay. Then I'll write on the piece of paper in Infernal, we are potentially interested in an offer that, an offer of negotiation. Name the time and location, and we will see what we can do. Basically, I want to word it in a neutral way, so it doesn't sound like I'm concretely agreeing to anything.
Yep. Okay, so you write this down, and you have this little note now. What are you doing are you just going to walk it over there, or are you going to...
I wouldn't get up. If you're done writing, if the imp doesn't see that you've written something on the note, I would want to just look over there, try to make eye contact, and wave him down like you're waving down a waiter.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't do that because it's rude, but you know how people do.
So we'll just say you finish writing the note and you kind of put your head down and you just hold the note up over your shoulder. And like 5 or 6 seconds goes by and all of a sudden and you just hear this like flapping and it's like all of a sudden it's plucked from your hands as the imp takes out and comes around the other direction and lands in front of the individual. As you see, he holds the note up below. The wine goes up into the shadows and comes back.
I'm gonna question, after that happens, I'm gonna question to Kaylin, you didn't go signing our lives away on a contract now, did you?
No, trust me, I know where we are. I made sure to word it as neutrally as possible.
In, this, hellish language that you know?
Infernal?
Yes.
What about it?
You wrote it in that hellish language?
I did.
And you didn't say anything that we wouldn't be pleased with?
We said we all agreed to discuss with him, so I just said we're interested in a discussion. Didn't sign into any contracts or anything.
I guess it remains to be seen, as we are not quite sure what you wrote, as none of us can read it.
I'll just relay. I mean, I can relate to you what I wrote if you want.
I'll just have to take your word.
And I'll very quickly just repeat what I wrote. Like, I'm sort of confused on why she's being so hostile. Like, okay, I can tell you exactly word for word, so I'll just very quickly relay exactly what I wrote.
Okay.
Very well.
I'll just sort of lean towards Kaylin and be like, oh, now she's suspicious of us. Kind of roll my eyes.
And I'll be like, yeah, I know. I should have sacrificed this bitch to the dragon.
Oh, Jesus. Like,
No, I don't say that. That was out of character.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Underneath his breath, like Kaz, like the last second, you just hear this. Fucking should have sacrificed that bitch to the dragon. Kaz, you're just like, whoa, shit. So a second goes by, and you just happen to look up at the right time, Kaylin, and you just see fingers point over to you, and just kind of.
I'll look towards Kaz and I'll say, well, looks like he's calling for us.
I'll stand up, but
it's a large table this individual is sitting by in the back corner.
I'll stand up and I'll look to other people at the table and say, I I think we should go. If anyone wants to stay here, that's fine. I understand. Kalen, you have to go.
Mhm.
But I'll go with you. But if anyone's suspicious or doesn't want to go for whatever reason, don't. I'm not going to force you. And I'll start slowly walking over that way.
I'll follow him.
You guys
I'll
make your
stay
way
put.
over.
I was gonna say I'll stay at the table.
Okay, Morn's like engrossed in this. He actually got some of the food out of the trough. This like the moving meat liquid thing, and he's like taking crunches off. And as you watch him take bites, pieces of bone are actually like protruding from his cheek, and he's like, ugh, like chewing, and it's
Jesus.
like it's real bad to watch.
It's the fish all over again.
Yeah, and he's just
Morn doesn't
chewing.
realize it's people.
You don't know. But he's crunching down on whatever the fuck it is. You guys go and you guys sit down at the table. And as you sit down, the light casted gives you a better view now. He is a dark red, almost like burgundy maroon colored demon with two horns that start here and wrap all the way down and come down, and then right at the ears go straight out. Hello.
Metal.
Yeah. Hello and welcome. He says in common.
Okay, I'll let the more silver-tongued one respond then.
You speak the common tongue?
I only assumed from those of you that enter here as humans and other, I would say creatures that aren't quite tieflings, but possibly of another race.
Oh shit. He's got your number, Kaz.
Oh, he wasn't looking at Kaz. He was looking across the way at the two other individuals sitting at the table with Morn. He takes a long, big sip of whatever's in his his wine glass.
We have a diverse group.
Ah, yes, you do. But shall we talk in a more private setting?
What did you have in mind?
And he snaps his finger, and the entire world around you guys goes black. You guys can see, but the entire room around you disappears, and it's black. That's a little more private now. We can talk without being interrupted. As names have a hold and a sway on individuals here. So do not lose your real name. But I am E, but you can call me Ezekiel.
Okay. And you sent us a note. I have to assume that you think we can help you with something.
You look like the adventurous type. As you so boldly just walked into hell, into my... as you walk into my humble inn.
Are you the owner?
Yes, I own this fine establishment.
Well, what sort of problems are you having that you need an adventurous group?
Oh, not problems, I would say, just more of an advancement. I have an individual I would like Goth, possibly, to help me and some associates of mine move up in in this hierarchy of needs. He takes another big sip of his drink and sets it on the table. And uh Kaz, you'll get this, but like Inspector Gadget, Claw starts
Right.
petting like the imp in his
Yeah.
lap.
Okay. So you need an individual taken care of to improve your lot in this life.
Yes, just a little person.
Can I
Oh,
can I ask questions about that?
of course.
What what why is this not something that you or someone you know before can't do already?
We can, but we have a rule down here that you cannot do that in person. Doing so yourself devalues your movement. You can
Mhm.
be punished for such things, but there's nothing against doing it in a sneakier manner.
Let's see. If you did it yourself, you wouldn't necessarily rise in the ranks.
Oh, I would rise through the ranks, all right, straight to the Mentiri, the pits of the abyss, to the dungeons below the city. Yes, I would be punished for all times.
And so, what sort of punishment will we get if we do it?
Oh, probably something along the same lines. But you don't get caught. But I can make it worth your while.
How so?
Oh, let's just say I can draft up a little contract between us that legally binds said actions with rewards, and you name what you would like or what you would like done. Do you want somebody killed on Earth? Do you want access to somewhere? Do you want to find something? You name the terms.
And we've started the conversation with you. What happens if we decide not to do this?
We walk away, nothing happens.
Would we still be welcome in your inn, or at least tolerated?
Are you paying?
Of course.
Then yes.
Tell me about the person that you want us to
Ah,
take care of.
Akesh. Akesh is the herald of vassalage. He is the right-handed man of a very powerful individual in the city, who has just recently risen high into the ranks once again.
Who is that man?
Ah, I believe he goes by the Beguiler, or
Hmm.
Zach.
Okay. Have you thought about how we would gain access to Akesh?
Yes, there's many ways to gain access to him. It's just a matter of when he is the most weakest. The most weakest he is at is when he is sleeping in his bed, which he obviously has quarters inside of his master's domain. I could make arrangements to have you safely escorted into this building. I would not be able to do any more than that, though. Maybe a guide through the city to his building, and then possibly into the building, and given some sort of layout of where to find him.
Is it fair to say that the devils here all have a rank?
Oh yes.
And Akesh would have a higher rank than yourself.
Yes. Him out of the picture would allow me and 4 others to move up in hierarchy many stations above what we have now.
And Isaac is higher than Akesh. So
Oh yeah.
if we agree to do this for you, what we would want in return is something from Isaac.
What
But
would you
I'm
like?
but I'm not sure that that's something you could provide, since he's several ranks higher than you. If he opposes it,
Oh, I cannot give you anything for him to guarantee. I can give you what I can give you is ways to enter, a guide possibly, ways to hurt or harm, all things within reason. But there can be no evidence that I helped you in any way.
understood.
You must leave no evidence. But I will fine tune. I can make a contract that you can just read. It does not legally bind us until you sign.
Let's talk with our group. I don't want to make agreements for their souls without discussing it with them first.
Of course.
We're staying at your inn.
Okay. Well,
Let us discuss it, and can we
yes.
get back in talks with you maybe tomorrow?
Yes, I live here, so Treble Strad, yep. Of course you can find me. Do not mention my name. And
E.
beware the glances, as they keep eyes for Lord Dissipator. And if they see anything out of the normal, they usually will dispatch their guards quickly.
Okay.
And he snaps his fingers, and a contract. Oh man, hold on. Forms in front of you. Of course, it's not gonna let me send this. I'll send it to you in a second. But a contract forms in front of you. You may read this over at your leisure and make changes however you deem.
Okay.
But if it suits you in any way, shape, or form, please do sign this, and the contract will become legally binding between the 2 of us.
I'll kind of roll it up and put it in my coat pocket.
Okay. And at that, he taps the table, and the room around you goes back to the inn. And he smiles, leans back into the shadows, and begins to sip on whatever his drink was again.
Okay. I'll head back to the table and say, let's get those rooms and head up to one now. We can review what we've got.
Okay. So you walk to the front, one dude, and you
That's 10 gold a room.
10 gold a room.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice rooms, huh?
Yeah, okay.
How about 5?
Make a persuasion check.
Eh. 5 is more than 10. 5 is more than 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way better.
5.
Good
5.
round number.
Okay, 5.
So give him 5.
Okay, takes the 5 gold.
Nice round number.
Doo-doo-doo.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Okay. So we'll get a couple keys
During
for
the
2
test.
rooms, and then I'll head up to one of them.
Okay. Oh. There we go. I'll send you a different one here, man. That was the wrong one.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know if that one will open.
Okay.
And you can feel free to share that with the group. But whoever signs that is legally bound to that.
And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be everyone.
No, it just has to be one person.
Okay.
Whoever signs that is legally bound to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got bored and spent a little time writing on a contract. And actually, just because. There you go, guys. I sent it to him to read, but. Boop. You guys can read if you want. Okay. So you guys are escorted up to your rooms. You get into the rooms. The rooms are covered with some kind of fleshy hide substance that covers these windows. But you enter, you're led down that same hallway, and there's a door on the far side. And as you walk through it, it leads you down some stairs and into almost like a subterranean apartment complex. And you walk down this alley or this hallway, and there's six doors all the way down. You guys have the farthest 2 rooms to the left and to the right. And as you walk down into this subterranean, it immediately goes from 80 to about 68 degrees. And it gets pretty comfortable at that point.
And as we go in the room, are they nice? By Rothos standards, do they seem like they're worth 5 gold a night?
Oh no, they're shitholes. You got swindled.
Oh.
10 goals was a fucking ripoff, and 5 goals was it was just as bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're very subpar and kind of crappy. They're all right, but like you sit down on the bed and they're like the Holiday Inn, like really crappy like truck stop inn hotel rooms. Like if the beds are like
Yeah.
you like lay down on, and you're just like
It's a room, but that's it.
yeah. And then on top of that, when you look at the sheets, it looks like somebody almost died on the bed. Like there's like a BO stain on the bed.
Yeah. This is money well spent. So I'll kind of fill in the group that he wants us to assassinate, essentially, Akesh, who is the right-hand man to Izak. So it would gain us access to him. I don't really know if it's worth doing, because we know that the river is to the south of the town. We know that Izak has to take Freya's body to that river. We could potentially interrupt the ritual there. We know he'll be there. I haven't read through the entire contract, but I imagine that there's something in there that's intended to trick us.
What benefit will we have from this? We already know where everything is. There's nothing he can give us to get what we want.
Well,
Contracts are not a smart idea. I don't know about you guys.
Access to Izak's mansion or his housing.
So, just to clarify, you know the river's to the south somewhere.
Right.
You do not know where his house is. You do not know how to get to that house. Kaylin, you'd be... I don't know how much you gave to them, but you know the city is about 400 to about 500,000 demon strong. Like, the city of Dis is basically the whole entire second layer of hell. You're not sure how far it is from here to wherever this river is on the south side of town. Just to clarify.
So I don't know if interrupting the ritual in a very public place would put us at too much risk. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, these are things that we need to think about and discuss, I guess.
I don't know what you think.
We did find out from the angels that if we want to permanently remove Izak, the river is how we would do it.
I don't know what you think demons are, but they are not trustworthy creatures. So anticipating that there is a contract that is just I'll give you this and you give me that is not really how it works. I wouldn't be putting your name on anything.
I especially don't like the sound of the third pact. Seems a little bit not great.
We can redline this how we want. And
Well, do you think he's gonna be willing to negotiate for something less than a soul?
you don't know unless you ask. He mentioned he's open to changes to the document. So we can look it over, make any changes we want, go through that negotiation. I mean, what would we want to... What would we want from him to help us succeed in this?
I don't think we want anything from him. I think he is a demon trying to gain rights and power over mortals. And this is how he would do it, as with a contract.
Okay.
And he used what we need against us, knowing that it's a weak spot.
If there was a human here that wanted to help us, what would we want from them in terms of help?
Wait, Kaz, you said if there was a human here, what would we want from them?
Yeah. If he was not a devil,
Oh, gotcha.
What would you ask of him that would even be helpful to us?
All we really need is to know where that river is. From what I understand, isn't that what we're trying to do? Is go to this river to apprehend this demon and get your friend back? So unless what we only need really is location, it seems a bit excessive to be going through all of these hoops to help this individual carry out all of these items for information, and something that likely has loopholes or tricks in it.
We can always make our own loopholes. But I think that we could maybe I think we could find the river. But what then? Right? There's only 5 of us here. We don't want to draw a ton of attention to ourselves. If we were to kill a high-ranking member of this city in the river, that's drawing a lot of attention. My preference would be sneak into his home, find Freya's body. We don't necessarily have to end his soul today. Take Freya, leave, and go back home and let these devils kill themselves.
Well, that is a plan, but
Who's to say that if we do get her back, but we don't take out Isaac, that he can't just reassert control immediately? I think if we want to really make sure that he can't get to her again, we've got to make sure he's taken care of.
and is time not of the essence? It doesn't appear that he is willing to help us before we help him. So we will be spending a very precious amount of time doing his favors.
Do I know? Kaylin's the only one that knows about Mimir, right?
Oh yeah, it would be Kaylin and Morn probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we weren't there.
I don't think
Yeah.
Morn would know anything, just Kalen. Morn was off.
Oh
doing his
yeah,
own thing,
you're
so-
right. Yeah, okay, so it'd just be Kaylin then.
Mhm.
I didn't think I did.
Yeah, Kaz kind of kept that to himself.
Yeah. And it was something that he acquired before we met, so.
Correct. It was while we were with the ice dragon.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I
And
want to
he
know
did
this
say-
staff origin story. How the fuck did he get in that vault? Like, what happened to Faerun? Or what happened to Faye? Like, did he die? Like, where the fuck did he go? Did Prekur just snap his neck and is like, I'll take your staff and I'll put it in my vault?
Maybe you'll find out.
Mimir, the origin story.
Oh, one shot! Mimir, the origin story.
You never know. And just he did say the contract was amendable. There was certain changes he was willing to change. Not big changes, but he was willing to amend and change some things. Or add something. He just went off of basically what you guys were looking for, and that's what he added into that first pact.
On the positive side, it does seem like if we can find a way to help this devil out, we would get closer to Isaac. But of course, don't really like the contract as it is written right now. Don't really like the idea of one of us having to, sell our souls.
And you only do, if you read the contract, just to reiterate, your soul is only null and void. It's only sold. You only sell your soul if you use the second and third pact. So if you invoke the conjuring forth of devils, then the second part of that pact. So you got to read carefully. I did look up how to write out contracts and lawyer shit. So I worded it as finely as I could. So read it very, very carefully. It does not have to be made, like you said, Kaz is going to, you guys are going to meet with this individual tomorrow to make a
Okay,
decision.
so, I thought I read it carefully. Do we want to read the contract out so that the viewers know what it is we're looking at?
Okay, viewers. This contract binds the scribe and recipient into a deal of chosen escalation for an unending period of time, meaning for their lives. Or this contract is voided by an agreement on the part of both parties. Upon agreeing to and signing this contract, the recipient is bound to their agreed obligations and parameters within the first pact, as is in the scribe. Upon completion of the agreed obligations and perimeters on both sides of the initial pact, the first pact is considered complete and concluded. This contract as a whole remains until the predetermined period of eternity, allowing the recipient, should they feel inclined, to invoke and trigger the second and third pact at any time thereafter through verbal acceptance in relative proximity of this contract. The obligations and parameters agreed upon within the second and or third pact then become binding and immediate, to be fulfilled on part of the both parties, within an agreed upon period of time. Upon completion of the agreed obligations and parameters on both sides of the second or third pact, that pact is considered completed and concluded. This contract remains in effect through all pacts and thereafter, maintaining any agreed upon specifications and obligations that remain outside of a pact's completion for eternity. Any violation of this contract on the part of the scribe immediately holds this contract null and void, requiring a penalty payment of 150,000 gold pieces to the recipient to be paid immediately. Any violation of this contract on the part of the recipient immediately locks the claim and ownership of the everlasting soul of the recipient, invoking the laws of the Pact of Primeval upon the control and dominance of the scribe for all eternity, sending the soul of the recipient immediately upon death to the scribe to do so with as they see fit. First pact. The scribe Ezekiel agrees to enable safe passage to Isaac, the beguiler's domain, with 10 coins of disguise. Basically, think of that as 10 coins of Mask of Many Faces. So in essence, you guys would have 10 coins that for 8 hours, you would be able to use that coin on yourself and change your appearance. The recipient, where you would sign, agrees to be the instrument of assassination leading to the death of Akesh, the herald of vassalage, without the revealing or leaving of evidence that could connect or incriminate the scribe in the act or reasons for the act. Second pact. The scribe Ezekiel agrees to immediately conjure forth a cadre of devils in service to the recipient, whom shall remain under the command of and dedicated to the protection of the recipient for the duration of 1 month, The cadre shall include 4 hamatula and a single oceloth. Should any devils bound within this agreement upon cadre be slain outside of Beator, they are absolved of future service to the recipient. The recipient agrees to the introduction and installation of at least 2 chosen of Dissipator, who have been selected by the scribe within a place of divine worship of the scribe's choice. The recipient must not interfere with this installation upon completion, and interference will be considered a violation of this contract. Third pact. The scribe Ezekiel agrees to immediately impart the recipient with the knowledge of ancient power beyond their grasp, enabling the use of divine powers granted under the grace of Lord Dissipator that can instantly restore themselves or allies to a healthy state, or rend the life force from their opponents. These powers remain within your possession until death. The recipient, whoever that may be, agrees to immediately lock the claim and ownership of the everlasting soul of the recipient, invoking the laws of the Pact Primeval, under the control and dominance of the scribe for all eternity, sending the soul of the recipient immediately upon death to the scribe to do with as they see fit. Signed by the agreed upon parties under laws of the Pact Primeval.
I must have missed that the part. Should they feel inclined to invoke and trigger the second or third pact at any time. Okay. So we could, like, the first pact is the only thing that we would really be, like, completely locked into upon the initial signing, supposedly. But the second pact and the third pact could be invoked at a later time, but that would mean that the person, whoever signed it, is giving up their soul. Is that a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, at least for the third one. So
Right.
the third one provides some help, and what it costs you is your soul upon death.
Yeah, it seemed like it makes you into a warlock.
I'm not sure what the second one is really wanting of us. It agrees to the introduction and installation of 2 chosen who have been selected within a place of divine worship of the scribe's choice.
So I guess we have to put, like, idols of these devils in a temple somewhere. Would be the
I think
condition.
probably a temple on the mortal plane,
That's, yeah.
and I don't know why. Maybe that
So
is to be used later and as a
So-
passage to get there. I don't know.
the second, just to explain, because I did word that one a little weird. The second, basically, it makes it so that you guys are forfeiting your rights to become, basically like pit fiends. Like, you're giving up your rights to basically be like lieutenants and devils of higher power in hell. You're basically giving up your right to move up that rank, and you're allowing him and whoever he chooses to move up that hierarchy instead.
As if we were ever interested in climbing the rungs of Devil Society.
Correct. And also, the way that is, that to a degree, yes. If you invoke the second pack, you are basically allowing 2 of Dissipator's chosen devils, demons, to basically be allowed on the mortal realm. And to be released within a place of divine worship of the scribe's choice.
Okay. So it's not like idols of them or something for like an object of worship. It's literally bringing them
To
into
the mortal plane.
mortal plane to fuck shit up.
If they want to, they might not. But it has to be done in a place of divine worship.
Mm-hmm.
But that's only if the second pact is invoked. So what you're getting the gist of right now is the only pact you guys may amend to a certain degree is going to be the first.
I think the likelihood of invoking the other two is probably low.
Who knows? Could come in handy.
It does sound handy, but
What's not handy is signing over one's soul.
I think Kalen would probably try to murder me if I did the second pact.
Yeah, I'll just very casually. Oh yeah, you can go trash my temple. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The third one, you know, I've grown fond of my soul, so that's a pretty high cost. Probably just a little too risk averse for the third one. Kalen's not going to let any of us invoke the second one. So
It'll have to be around you to stop it if you decided.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is say, I invoke the second.
I plead the second.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of with Arcadia. I don't know if
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of.
we're really getting that much.
If we think about what we basically get 10 free disguise selves. I mean, we snuck into the Greymane estate, like, kind of no problem, really. I don't think getting in there is going to be a problem.
Well,
like I said though,
the Greymane estate.
Yeah, like I said though,
Hell.
you can make changes and add things to the first pack. So until our next session, you guys can take this and make amendments. So you can ask for a guide all the way to Izak's whatever. You can ask for a means of traveling through the cities quickly. You can ask for things. And he may or may not find them
agreeable.
It might be an easy enough thing. Because he is asking for a lot. He's asking for the assassination of somebody. He just put what you guys had immediately basically the safe passage to Izak, and he assumed, looking at your group, you needed some way to get there disguisable. So
I think it'd be better if we, to Andre's point, if we need to end Izak for good, we need to do it at the river. I think we have a quick way to leave this plane. We just need to understand how to destroy his soul in the river. And once that happens, what happens to Freya's body? Right? Can we just take it back to our home plane and her soul will be released to it? I don't know. But we need a way to ambush him at the river, not at his home. Right?
Well, I believe the angels clued us in on some of that. We can't permanently kill him. They said if we dunk him in the lake, he'll be sealed away for quite some time.
Right.
Did they specify how long?
I don't believe
They
so.
don't
They said
really.
they just said he'll be gone for a really long time, bro.
Yeah, for quite some time. They definitely didn't say.
I think it was beyond all of our lives,
Yeah.
but
So
I don't know if that's a
you-
millennia or
you could probably guess when somebody omnipotent and basically eternal says for a really long time. It's a really long fucking time if they're saying a really long time. Because to them, time moves at a whole different pace.
Yeah.
yeah. If they think
Cosmic
it's a long
beings.
time, it won't be a thing that we'll ever have to worry about again.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about beings that have used the stars as rush lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So
So,
I think maybe some more details on how to trap him in the river, so we know exactly what we need to do. If there's a possibility of us getting trapped in the river, I'd like to know that. And if there's a mechanism to maybe teleport us there before the ritual starts, when Izak is at the river, if we could teleport in and trap him there, and get Freya's body, I think that would be helpful.
Well, it's assuming
Right.
that he hasn't already started something.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it will be a bit of a sidetrack to go and assassinate this guy. And we are on a time crunch.
Well, if he wants to assassinate Akesh in order to rise in the ranks, maybe dealing with Akesh's boss will be even better, and we can forget about Akesh altogether.
Did you happen to mention that it was Isaac we were after?
Yes, but
I think, if I recall from obviously not being there, but I think you guys mentioned that, like, getting something from Isaac, you mentioned that, but not necessarily, hey,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
trying to take out Isaac.
Right.
Left out that detail. So that might be something that he would potentially bite at, knowing that, you know, if this group wanted to take out Isaac, maybe he'd be like, oh god, you know, yeah, do that.
like I said,
We'll,
you guys
we'll,
can.
we'll
You
do you
guys
one
can
better.
you guys can make amendments. You know, it might be worth trying to figure out if that even works that way. Like taking out the big boss, if his second in hand moves up, does that open up the ranks for him to move up, or is that something that's just below that general? Because you're not sure. But there's, like I said, you guys will have a whole week now to basically make amendments or changes to that first pack, basically. So you guys can ask for information. You guys can ask certain things, exchanges of information. There's little, you know, if you ask too much, you might make amendments to that second part. Not
Right.
sure. So, but on that note, as you have this very nice laid out contract in front of the group, you guys begin to read it over and seriously think about the ramifications of signing or not signing this. About how you may, if you don't sign this, how you will find this home of Isaac, this temple, this lake, this river. You're unsure. If taking the information from this gentleman, from this E, will give you what you need to get to your location quick enough. We will end our session there.
Thanks everybody for hanging out on stream.
Yeah.
Same time next
Joining
week.
us. See you next
Au
week.
revoir. Ciao.
Bye bye.